Ladies and gentlemen, episode number 658, and we are live in the land of red. We are on YouTube with a little bit of TWA In Your House, but we are live today. It is not pre-recorded. We are live, and we've got a 9-match thrill ride championship matches all day long. We have one world title on the line today. It is our main event of the day. And then, of course, we've got some tag team championships, a submission championship. The one championships are up for grabs today after the poll has ended. The people have spoken. We have our challengers, and the champions will be defending. The Legends titles are on the line today. The United States championships are on the line today. It is going to be a thrill ride of a day. But before we get to any matches, we're going to be discussing just a little bit of what happened last night. I've got to tell you, All Out was actually a very good pay-per-view last night for AEW. I didn't like... I'm going to be honest, I didn't like the Jon Moxley Darby Allin match, but the rest of the card was quite good. We have a new AEW Women's Champion, and of course Luke and I will talk. Luke the Gooner 94 is already on the broadcast, ready to rock and roll. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about WrestlePalooza, what happened with Brock Lesnar and Cena, lots to discuss. Also, anything we missed in the land of football yesterday, because the last time we were speaking, we were talking about Barcelona. I believe Barcelona won their game. Luke, is that correct?
Yeah. I was watching it.
And what was the final score of that game?
2-1, wasn't it? They held on towards the end.
It was 2-1. Oh yeah, that's right too. There was 2-1. They held on towards the end of the game there. So who played yesterday? I know Man City played.
There was a lot of matches.
Man City played Chelsea,
matches.
right?
There's always a lot of matches on a weekend of Premier League action. Like there's always like a game at 12:30, then there's 3 o'clock kickoff start.
Yeah, yeah, it was early.
And then there's normally one later on during the day as well, like Man United Chelsea.
It was definitely early.
Man United beat Chelsea. How many hard? We had Man United beat Chelsea 2-1. Wolves beat Leeds United 3. Leeds beat Wolves 3-1. Crystal Palace beat West Ham 2-1. Tottenham drew with Brighton 2-2. That was 2-2 that one. And Burnley drew with Nottingham Forest. That was games. Liverpool beat Everton as well. That was yesterday's game.
Right.
So today we've got Arsenal versus Man City.
Oh, that's right. Arsenal and Man. Well, now what time's that?
Newcastle. I think Newcastle are playing right now, but I can't know the first. I think it's Aston Villa, I think.
That game is that this afternoon?
Yeah, 4:30 kickoff. So maybe I might have to leave. Maybe I might probably leave during night broadcast. We're only doing a quick show anyway, to be fair. So.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. I mean, our live shows on YouTube are always just a bit quicker than they are in the land of Twitch, because we get distracted a lot in the land of Twitch with villainous and traitorous, treacherous trolls coming into the chat room.
When it's like my team, I like to go off and watch it. Right? Like when it's like a different team, I can stay on the fucking booth and I can stay on the thing and just head over from the channel. But obviously, I'd rather go off and watch it. My team.
And before you ask, I did remember to advertise that we are live today. I couldn't believe we were like over halfway through the show yesterday, and it dawned on me like I didn't even advertise that we were live yesterday at all. It was quite ghastly. I couldn't believe I did that, but yeah. So Arsenal versus Man City today. So here's my prediction. I don't know if you'll agree, but I think Man City loses to Team Arsenal today by the score of 2-1. That's my prediction for today.
I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah. I think that's going to be the way of it. Now, you and I watched most of WrestlePalooza together yesterday.
Yeah.
Obviously a great show. I do have the results of that.
We watched like the first hour. We watched the start.
Yeah, about an hour and a half, I think we watched of it before I ended up busy doing other things. But I'll be honest, because I wasn't expecting it, but WrestlePalooza, which I still hate the name, by the way. I still hate that name, but it's just weird. WrestlePalooza. Like, what the fuck is a WrestlePalooza? No. But the show was good. I was really shocked how well put together. I liked the setup. I liked the setup of the arena. It was cool. But my favorite part of yesterday has to be Brock Lesnar absolutely destroying John Cena. Little kids were crying all throughout the arena. It was fantastic. If an Odie is already in the chat room. An old ECW pay-per-view day. Yeah, WrestlePalooza, yeah. Actually, if you check out the results, which we're going to check them out in just a bit, it literally says for the first time WWE produced WrestlePalooza. I knew it came from somewhere. I just couldn't remember. For some reason, I didn't remember that it was an ECW pay-per-view or event. I just knew that I had heard that name before, that it was an event of some sort, whether it be a fan meet and greet or whatever, you know what I mean? I just couldn't remember. So ECW, thank you, Oni. Yeah, that makes sense. And now that you say that, I do remember that. But yeah, it was fantastic watching all those kids cry. Like, Brock Lesnar just annihilated him. I mean, John Cena got what? I think 3 attitude adjustments on Brock Lesnar while that match lasted. But for the most part, it was all Brock Lesnar. It was all Brock Lesnar, and it was fantastic. And how cool was it to see Paul Heyman come out and join Brock? And that got a huge pop from the crowd, too. People loved that, you know? And you know what's funnier is the kids were crying, but there was just as many cheers for Brock Lesnar destroying Cena as there were upset people. I liked that. It was a very even... It was 50-50. You know, there was people genuinely upset that what was going on with Cena and Lesnar, and then everybody else was cheering. And, you know, we even had some Cena sucks chants last night in the crowd going on. And, you know, throughout his heel run, we didn't really hear a lot of that, which was weird. Now that he's gone back to being a face, now we're back to, you know, the Cena sucks chants here and there. But, yeah, Yeah. But I did say, and if you go back and watch our shows, I did say that he needed to destroy Cena. Soul Embers is in the house. You were laughing? Yeah, so were we, trust me. So, especially when the cameras would pan and show all the kids crying. Fuck, it was great. I loved it. Ask Luke. I sat here. I was giggling my ass off the whole time. I thought it was fantastic.
That's like my dad's name.
Yeah. It was fantastic. But while we're continuing the conversation about WrestlePalooza, and we'll get into a little bit of All Out. I don't know if you watched All Out yet, but we can run down talk about some of the things that happened. I've got the results for that as well. But while we're talking about everything, we may as well get the show on the go. We've got a 9-match card today. You got a what?
Watched All Out.
You haven't watched it all yet?
Actually watched All Out. Is it worth watching?
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, again, I didn't care for the Moxley Darby Allin coffin match. I mean, it had its moments. There was a couple of cool spots. But overall, I didn't really care for the match. But the rest of the card was good. You know, Chris Statlander, of course, became the new AEW Women's Champion. But we'll get into that. We still have some WrestlePalooza to talk about. We'll have a look at the results for that as well. We can't just keep talking about us thinking that Brock Lesnar destroying Cena was... I mean, we could talk about that all day, actually, to be honest, because it was fucking great. But we're not going to.
I'm a Brock Lesnar fan.
Oh yeah, I'm a Brock Lesnar fan too, absolutely. And I'm a Cena fan. I mean, obviously throughout his career, there were points and times of his career that I didn't care for Cena too much, like when they were shoving him down our throats.
Yeah, definitely. No, I
back between 2011 and 2020,
I was younger. I was going to school when he was the wrestling during that period.
During his Super Cena reign.
You go to school and people would be fucking Cena fans if you could drive.
They even fucking called him Super Cena at one point. It was crazy. But all right, here's our first match. Today is our tone setter. It is for the TWA Legends Championship, which The Undertaker, of course, just defended successfully yesterday in a casket match against the world's champion Mufasa. He's going to be up against Shade, former world champion, former one champion. He's a multiple-time champion. One Elijah Archer still chasing that Legends Championship down. He, of course, lost to The Undertaker. Hasn't had a one-on-one rematch, but he is in the mix today. Kurt Angle is in the house. D'Lo Brown. And, of course, again, The Undertaker putting that Legends Championship on the line. It is our first match of the day. Let's get things rocking and rolling. It is a 5-man elimination matchup for the TWA Legends Championship. Let's rock and roll. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. All I have to say is it's about time Steph was in the Hall of Fame. You know what's funny is I don't know why I thought it. I actually thought she was already in the Hall of Fame. Stephanie McMahon. I thought she was already. She's going into the Hall of Fame 2026. Undertaker came out and made it official.
I know, I've seen it.
Yeah,
she deserves it, man. She deserves it. I don't care.
Oh, she absolutely deserves it. Yeah, I don't.
No.
I mean, if there was somebody that said, I would want to know why they felt like she didn't deserve it. If there was somebody that felt legitimately like she didn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I just thought it was weird, though, because for some reason, I had it in my head that she'd already been put into the Hall of Fame, and I was incorrect about that, so. Yo, Soul Embers is Tiffany Stratton today. It's Tiffy time in the world of Soul Embers.
Tiffy time.
What time is it? I like Tiffany Stratton a lot, actually.
Yeah, I do, well.
Yeah. Oni says, I just got Trish Stratus persona. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, you're running through My Rise, aren't you? Or is that Showcase? No, that's My Rise, right? Are you doing My Rise, Oni? Speaking of which, EVW will be going live today as well with a fantastic show. At some point, we'll all be there. It's not My Rise. How did you get the Persona card? Did you just purchase it, or was it a? Oh, it was My Faction. Okay.
Yeah, that's My Faction.
Oh, that's right. He was doing the island, but he got it through My Faction. That's right too. For some reason, I thought you were doing My Rise. It was, yeah.
What did he get? The Trish Stratus all free?
Did he what?
Did he get the Trish Stratus all free, pal?
Well, he says he got the 03 Trish Stratus Persona card.
Oh, yeah, that's My Faction.
Came with free VC, I guess.
You're lucky, man. I thought you didn't get that.
So yeah, so WrestlePalooza was, it exceeded my expectations because I didn't expect an overly good show. For some reason, I don't know why I didn't expect a good, but it was actually really, really good, and so that's cool. And again, Brock Lesnar annihilated John Cena. We just got to say that at least one more time because it was fucking great. It was just flat out fucking.
That's your favorite part of the show.
It's my favorite part of the show. Yeah, favorite part of the show, especially again.
You don't even hate John Cena either.
No, I don't. But that's what needed to happen, though. I'm sorry, but nobody believes John Cena can beat up Brock Lesnar. Pro wrestling or not, predetermined matches or not, nobody wants to see Cena beat Brock Lesnar. Nobody. Well, except for the kids that were crying. That was great.
He didn't need a crowd call.
Yeah. I'm just on cloud 9 because I've been saying for weeks leading up to WrestlePalooza that needed to happen. You know. Now I didn't know he was going to annihilate John Cena that badly. That just was like gravy on the potatoes. The cherry on top of the ice cream. That was fucking fantastic. But he gave him 3 A's. He gave him 3 A's. How many F5s did he get though? Fucking 5? 6? Yeah, it was a lot. You know, and then the referee got it. And you know, nobody came. I thought for sure somebody would try to interfere and help John Cena maybe. That did not happen. Everybody was like, fuck that, we're not getting in there with Brock Lesnar. but if you go watch interviews with a lot of the wrestlers that have been in there with Brock Lesnar, not only do they say that he's a remarkable worker, but he's also extremely safe. Like when you see Lesnar in there, he just looks like a tank, man. He looks like a freight train running people over. But everybody says the same thing. He's so good, and he does things safely, and he's so strong and fast, and it's just, you know, a lot of people really enjoy their time with Brock Lesnar. You know, not everybody says that about big guys like that, because a lot of big guys end up hurting people, and Brock Lesnar's never been one of those guys that has ever. Yeah. Who?
I think hardcore.
Oh. You know what? No, I actually liked Hardcore Holly. I did like Hardcore Holly.
I tell you what, he's tough as fuck though, wasn't he? It's roughly up.
So just to summarize, Brock Lesnar, John Cena. So this is an article. I'm reading the results right from the WWE website, WWE.com. But so before the bell rang, WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman shockingly arrived to announce Brock Lesnar seemingly back as the Beast Advocate. I wouldn't say shockingly, because when Lesnar said to Paul, "We need to talk," I had a feeling it was going to be about him being his advocate at WrestlePalooza. Now, I didn't know to what extent, or, if that was going to go badly and something, I don't know. I wasn't sure what to expect out of that. But, I mean, the fact that he showed up wasn't overly shocking to me, because he told Paul he wanted to talk about. I mean, what else would he want to talk about with Paul? Leading up to a big match with Cena, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I pretty much knew that was happening. But after some back and forth, John Cena was able to hit 3 attitude adjustments in succession, but Lesnar kicked out. Cena then attempted a 5-knuckle shuffle, but Lesnar bounced back before nailing 6 F5s in an absolute decimation. And that's a perfect fucking word to use right there. That's better than what I had said. An absolute decimation of Cena to win the match. And then after the match, Lesnar kept up the rampage, F5ing the referee and Cena once again for good measure. So Cena took 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 F5s during that matchup. How fantastic is that? Moving forward, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker ended up defeating the Usos. I also think that needed to happen, and I'm glad that did happen, because I was worried for a while that somehow the Usos would end up winning that matchup. Just because it's the Usos back together as a tag team again. And by the way, I hated their outfits. What in the fuck were those?
What the fuck were they wearing?
Right? What was that they were wearing? I was like, I don't know, it's like they were prepping to go to Saudi Arabia or something. That's what those outfits reminded me of. All they needed were the fucking proper head dressings to go with the outfits, and they looked like they were from Saudi Arabia. But no, I didn't like the outfit. It wasn't the way it was the way the outfit. I just didn't like them. It was weird. Didn't you find their outfits kind of weird? Here comes the WCW World Champion, Shade. I just realized the Legends Champion did not come out last.
I like
I just realized Undertaker did not come out last. The champion did not come out last. Never a good sign. When you're running a matchup and the champion does not come out last, that's never a good sign. I mean, Undertaker's got his plate full today anyway. D'Lo Brown, the one Elijah Archer, Shade, Kurt Angle.
Inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's an awesome thing to me. That's kind of cool.
Sorry, who?
Stephanie's not in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, and she should be. She deserves to be. I'm happy about that, too.
Why do you do it so?
In my opinion, Stephanie was always better than Shane even. You know what I mean? I know people liked Shane McMahon and his run. He did. Well, his matchup with Kurt Angle alone was fucking phenomenal. He did have some good... He did do some good things, while he was active. But
he was actually all right.
Exactly. But Stephanie McMahon was the better character. Stephanie McMahon was way better on the microphone, and she was a better wrestler. I'm not saying that Stephanie McMahon was a great wrestler. Considering her dad was Vince McMahon and she grew up in the business, you thought she would have been a little bit better of a wrestler, actually. Like more of a Charlotte Flair. But I guess not everybody has that in their genes. But she was still very good. She was still very good. But she did wrestle lots, and she did it well, and that's what matters, right? Because again, like you said, she wasn't really. I mean, for a while she was listed on the roster, obviously as a wrestler, but she wasn't really a wrestler, But when she did, she made it look good, and that was the important. And not just that though, she was involved in some of the greatest storylines You know, I mean, even the one where The Undertaker took her hostage, you know. Like, there were so many great things that Stephanie McMahon accomplished and was able to pull off as a character for the company. So, again, if there was somebody that legitimately didn't think Stephanie belonged in the Hall of Fame, I'd like to hear their reasoning why.
Stephanie's a big part of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's like saying... It's like saying Mickey or Charlotte, you know, doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame, or Beth Phoenix, you know. And I have heard people say that, but I mean, obviously I don't agree with that. Beth Phoenix, and again, she was one of those women that wasn't around a very long time, but the period of time she was there, she was dominant, she was a great in-ring performer, she was a great character. You know, you can't knock that. You can't. And let's be honest, most women don't have the same length of career as the men anyway. Right? So you can't really put them on, you know, you can't judge them the same way. Most men have 10, 15, 20-year careers when, you know, if they're lucky, if they're good enough. Women's what, 5 to 10, would you say? Usually, but 5 to 10 years, 5 to 8 years, something like that. But Jesus Christ, I just looked up Archer with a beautiful German to Kurt Angle on the outside. This matchup's going to get ugly. It is an elimination style matchup. Legends Championship on the line. And look at the villains in this matchup. D'Lo Brown just inked a contract with TWA not long ago. Kurt Angle in action. Multiple-time champion, reigning defending WCW champion, former Legends champion. I mean, this is a fantastic matchup. Great way to start out the show. I have no idea. I'm glad we don't have betting lines here on YouTube, because I wouldn't even be able to suggest who somebody should be voting for on this particular matchup. So yeah, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker defeated the Usos yesterday. LA Knight, of course, oversaw the officiating duties as Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed of the Vision battled the Usos. The megastar was loose with rules, allowing both teams to brawl outside the ring and use a variety of weapons against each other. And by the way, I actually enjoyed LA Knight's presence a lot last night. I know he was the referee. Yeah, no, LA Knight, they need to push him on a better level. That's, you know what, why is LA Knight not in the Intercontinental title picture? Why is he not in the United States Championship picture again? Why is he not in better standing to be in the World Championship picture? They got to stop wasting time with LA Knight. LA Knight is so over with everybody, you know, and has been. I don't know if WWE paid attention to his career in NWA and in other companies that he wrestled for when he was Eli Drake. But I mean, he's been over with fans for quite a long time. So it was no surprise that when he finally came to WWE, people started immediately getting behind him. It's some of the legends and some of the higher-ups that are, for whatever reason, afraid to pull the trigger on LA Knight. That or they're waiting for the really right moment. I don't know. Maybe they want to give him a WrestleMania moment. I mean, at this point, LA Knight deserves, I think LA Knight deserves a WrestleMania moment. But they better not, they fucking well better not have him win the title and then get it cashed in by a fucking Money in the Bank, or I'll be pissed. I was pissed when they did it to Drew. You know? Then they did it to CM Punk. Like, I'm getting tired of these immediate screw jobs. Like, they've done it too many times.
I felt Punk basically beat Gunther for nothing as well.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. So the steel chair was used by each team to debilitate the other. Wait a minute, who got eliminated? Kurt Angle got eliminated? Wow, Kurt Angle's the first one out. Holy shit. That's crazy, didn't expect that. Jey Uso paying homage to Umaga by giving him a running hip attack to Breaker in the corner with the devastating weapon. No, that was. And I liked the homage, too. Jimmy Uso eventually brought out the table, delivering the Indianapolis crowd's earlier wishes. The Usos hit double super kicks on Breaker and Reed before hitting the 1D onto Breaker, but Reed was able to break up the pinfall. After the flurry of spears and splashes, main event Jay hit an Uso splash onto Breaker, but Breaker kicked out. Jay flew out of the ring to attack Reed, which angered the Megastar, who only just got out of the way moments before. The tension between Knight and Jay continued as Jay nearly clocked Knight with the steel chair. You know, that's going to come to fruition soon, too. And no offense to Jey Uso, because I like Jey Uso. I actually am proud of Jey Uso. I think he's done such a fantastic job of pulling out of a tag team and really elevating himself on the main card status, becoming main event Jay, getting the crowd behind him. I mean, he's more, like, think about it. His theme music right now is probably hotter than when The Undertaker's gong goes off. And who would have thought that would have ever happened? Think about it. Doesn't matter what arena they're in. Doesn't matter what country they're in. As soon as the music hits, people are on their feet. They're screaming. They're singing. They're yeeting. I'm telling you, he's got the biggest pop in wrestling. But that said, LA Knight needs to beat Jey Uso. That needs to happen. So yeah, it continued last night. Jay nearly clocked Knight with the steel chair. Total carnage erupted as Breaker speared both Usos through a table in the corner. Reed then touched down with a tsunami onto Jay to win the match, and of course they claim victory. Now it's funny they say tsunami, because actually when I was talking to Luke yesterday, while we were watching the show, I happened to say that Bronson Reed reminds me a lot of Typhoon. Or Tugboat, depending on what you know him. But his best run was as Typhoon, when he was, of course, with the natural disasters with Earthquake. Now, Bronson Reed is a better wrestler than Typhoon was, but it's just the presence. It's the appearance. It's some of the movesets he has are very much like Typhoon's. Overall, though, Bronson Reed is way better than Typhoon was. But it's just a reminder for me. I don't know if anybody agrees with that or not. But that's how I feel about it. That's definitely how I feel about it. Life is Great is in the house. Holy shit, you are early, Life. You must be up doing homework, are you? Rocky Cross is in the house. Archer hates chat. No, Archer's just busy watching. I mean, this is the Tone Center, motherfucker. You know, we always watch the Tone Center before we get involved with chat. That's not a new thing. That's happened in the history of TWA. Luke and Oni and I, or Luke and Moon and I, or some, we shoot the shit, we talk about crap, we watch the first match, then we get into the chat room. How dare you, sir? How dare you, sir? I am scrolling back in chat right now. Give me a second to see what I missed. I forget what the numbers are today, but it will pop up. I see that Rocky has a pair of ones already. That might actually be the leading dice right now, the pair of ones, believe it or not, Rocky. 265, I can't remember what the numbers are for that. But again, it will pop up here shortly. I've got it set to every 15 or 20 minutes so we know what the numbers are for the day.
Obviously still has some fight left.
Stephanie is the second McMahon in the Hall of Fame. I believe Vince Sr. is the first. Wait a minute, is Shane not in the Hall of Fame? Wow, Shane's been eliminated by D'Lo Brown. It is down to the one Elijah Archer and D'Lo Brown. We're guaranteed a brand new champion here. Wow. I didn't even realize Undertaker had been eliminated. But I did say, it's never a good sign when you got a matchup for a championship and for some reason the champion doesn't come out last like they normally do. WWE does fuck with you sometimes with that, though. I've seen champions come out first and still win, but Archer doing a little showing off. Do not show off against D'Lo Brown. You play too many games, D'Lo will drop that D'Lo frog splash, drop a leg across your throat. Oh, no! Oh, Archer just took the barbed wire bat to the midsection and right across the back. D'Lo Brown handling the one Elijah Archer here. Who's going to win this one? Who's walking out Legends champion? I can't believe it's down to D'Lo and Elijah Archer. I'm not going to lie. She was a great character. Yes, she absolutely was. One of the best female characters of all time, and I know she's a McMahon, and some people have that problem with that. I don't. I don't.
Why would somebody have a problem with it?
Well, because a lot of people feel she was only in the spot she was in because it was Vince's daughter, blah, blah, blah. Same shit they said about Charlotte and being Ric Flair's daughter. Yeah, I mean, same shit people said. Even I said it, actually, initially, about Randy Orton and being Bob Orton's son and stuff like that. Just, you know, it's just... I think these days most people appreciate... wow, D'Lo kicked out. 2 count only. I thought Archer was going to win.
What a match.
But I never thought that way because I appreciated the work she put into the business and the work she was putting into the storylines. So, and that is it. That is all. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match and your new TWA Legends Champion by submission, the one, Elijah Archer, going home with the gold once again. This will be his 13th Legends Championship reign, which he'll probably lose on the next show. He's got a bad habit of doing that. Have you ever noticed that? Doesn't matter what season, except for season 4 when he had that huge fucking run. I don't know to this day what that was about, but goddamn, he went on a big run. 28 Legends, 27 defenses. That was nuts. Even B. Jackson back in the day went through, I believe it was 11 Legends and had 10 defenses. They are the 2 superstars that have been able to defend that championship the most. Nobody's ever topped that. But congratulations to Elijah Archer and the Coalition, bringing home some gold to the faction. Rocky's trying to AKO life. Uh-oh, we're going to have ourselves a war in the chat room at some point. You didn't even know who Vince Sr. was? That would be Vince's father. That would be Vince's father. Vince J. McMahon is Vince's dad? Yeah, okay, Oni already explained it, alright. I'm still going down through the chat here.
This is the kind of moment you dream about as a competitor. Bravo to him.
Oni, I didn't know that? Well, clearly you didn't know that. You said you didn't know that. At that point, I went without saying. Learn your history then before saying stuff that isn't true. What did you say that wasn't true? I must have missed something. I'm going back just a minute. Vince Sr. is the only one in the Hall of Fame. It's debatable whether or not Vince McMahon will ever be in the Hall of Fame at this point. He probably should be, but I can understand if it doesn't happen. I feel like that's something that might happen posthumously, you know what I mean? After he passes, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. I don't know how they're going to handle that over time. I mean, Vince absolutely should be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, look what he did for the wrestling business. You know what I mean? But, you know, there's other superstars that should be in the Hall of Fame and aren't for controversial reasons. So, like, for instance, we'll never see Chris Benoit in the Hall of Fame. Understandably, I get that. But it's a sad thing because Chris Benoit, and I understand how his life ended and how things unfolded, but that aside, he was one of the greatest in-ring performers of all time. Of all time, you know? And he was a full package. He could do it in the ring. He was great on the microphone. You know, he was always very gritty. And I mean, the Rabid Wolverine was a perfect name for him, actually. So that could end up being the same thing, you know, Vince just never ends up being in the Hall of Fame. Rocky was saying Stephanie will be the first McMahon in the Hall of Fame. Oh, I thought he said second, actually. Oh, Oni said second. All right, I misread that. The only reason Rocky is getting away with a free shot is because I am not caffeinated. She has not had her coffee yet. She's not feeling like the queen of Banhamas right yet. He didn't know history, though. Yeah, right. Yeah. But anyways, all right. We have a new Legends champion for the 13th time. It is the one Elijah Archer. Let's move on to our second match of the day. Here we go. It is for the Women's Legends champion. Look at the Vixen villains in this match. Fatal four-way elimination time, ladies and gentlemen. Alundra Blaze, former Legends champion. Bull Nakano getting a first shot at the Legends championship. She is hungry. She is ready The Great Queen Dust is going to be in action today from Team Moon Raider as she once again challenges for the Legends Championship. And, of course, the Great B. Jackson, the TWA's only septuplet champion in history, putting her Legends Championship on the line today. Fatal 4-Way, that is next. Oni says, I'm in this match. You are. You are, of course. Infinite Oni manages Bull Nakano. One of the greatest women's performers of all time. For anybody that's not overly familiar with Bull, definitely look her up. Go watch some of her past matches. Doesn't matter even which promotion. WWF at the time, whether it's New Japan at the time. I mean, she is phenomenal. She really helped shape the women's division back in the day. And back in the day when she was wrestling people like Alundra Blaze, Wendy Richter, and all those, women's wrestling was not on anywhere near on the level it's on today. It was not appreciated as much as it was, but those women of the time period still went out, gave it their all in the ring, and put on tremendous displays of wrestling. So it was. I always found it a shame that they didn't appreciate the women's division as much back then, and I'm so glad that they eventually did. Because look at the way it. Look at now. I've said it a lot of times. I've even said it about TWA. A lot of the times you see better women's matches than you do men's. And I think that holds true. But yeah, Bull Nakano was fantastic. This is going to be an absolute tremendous matchup. B. Jackson, of course, defended her Legends Championship yesterday. Hopefully she does not have the same fate as The Undertaker. The Undertaker has officially lost the Legends Championship. At least he had a championship defense, though. I mean, he fought the TWA World Champion yesterday in a casket match, was able to defeat Mufasa in said casket match. I mean, I guess that was his, you know, that whole matchup played right into his forte, into his specialties. Not something Mufasa is really necessarily, I mean, he's not been in a lot of casket matches. I mean, who just signs up for casket matches? That was the only way he was getting a shot at the title, though. Undertaker said, I will accept your challenge, but it's going to be a casket match. Mufasa accepted. Undertaker proceeded to beat But it was a great match, though. It was a great match. There was a couple times I actually thought that Mufasa was going to take that championship from The Undertaker. But at the end of the day, it ended up being Undertaker staying strong, remaining champion, putting Mufasa into the casket and closing the lid tight. Alundra Blaze, also known as Medusa, for those that might know her better as Medusa. That was her heel persona. She was a tremendous wrestler, way ahead of her time. I mean, if you could bring a young Alundra Blaze into today's wrestling market, she would still be able to, I mean, she would still hold up. She would still be able to compete with today's women. She was that good, and she was that far ahead of her time. Oni Life wants to know how you're doing this morning. I mean, he's piecing things together. He's getting EVW ready to rock and roll.
Title's on the line here in this one. And I don't remember the last time the champ was in this much jeopardy, Cole. Tonight might just be the night.
Infinite always says yes, but according to the list, yeah, fuck the list. That list was terrible. That list was fucking ghastly. All right, some more results from WrestlePalooza. We watched Stephanie Vaquer rise to the occasion, defeat Io Sky, and become the Women's World Champion. So, and that was a great, great match. I won't sit and tell you that it was as good of a match as Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, but it was a great match. And Stephanie Vaquer absolutely deserved the position she was in and deserved to be put over as world champion. Now it's going to be interesting, right? Because obviously Naomi's going to come back at some point. We got Rhea Ripley in the mix. You've got so many different women right now that can challenge Stephanie Vaquer and put on a great show and continue to build the legacy of that Women's World Championship. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens going further. But yeah, Vicaire, of course, hit a spiral tap to pin Sky and win her first ever Women's World Championship. Very well executed. The matchup itself was well done. It was well paced. Both women looked sensational in their exchanges and it was just a really good matchup. Definitely one of the best matches on the card. I think Io and Stephanie Vicaire. I don't know if everybody, I mean, did you guys think that Stephanie Vicaire was going to beat Io Sky? Did anybody think she was going to win? Out of curiosity. Mulligano with the nunchucks.
Yeah, I expected Stephanie to win these.
You did expect it? Okay.
Yeah.
My card got reset. Oh, shit. What happened there? Did you forget to save it before you went back to the main screen, or did it glitch on you? What happened there? Here comes the great B. Jackson. TWA World's Champion, TWA Legends Champion, TWA's only septuplet champion. Been a part of 3 major factions that were all successful, winning championship gold with each of them, including a tag team, one of the greatest tag teams ever, if not the greatest tag team ever in TWA history, in Winter Swarm, which is, of course, how January ended up proceeding to become the first ever and only, still to this day, except for B. Jackson, sextuplet champion. But B. Jackson just barely accomplished that. It was almost 2 years later. The men still haven't accomplished that. They've barely touched base on having some Grand Slam champions. But it's a tough thing to do. It's a tough thing to even become a double champion in TWA, much less Triple Crown champion, Grand Slam champion. I forgot to save while I was dealing. Oh, okay. Yeah. I hate when that happens. I've done that myself. See, the welcome message came up, but I don't know if the message for what our numbers are for today came up yet.
Every single fatal four-way match has its own.
I don't see it anywhere.
And that means you have to adopt whatever strategy is going to help you.
It will pop up at some point, though. Now, especially now that the welcome message has popped up, so it won't be long before we see our numbers for the day for the lotto and blackjack, the dice. Because I, for the life of me, can't remember what the numbers are. Oddly enough, I do think Rocky Cross is probably winning with that pair of ones. I don't think it was a pair. So he might be leading with that again today.
I don't know if you can fully prepare, Michael.
He might be. I'm almost positive he is, actually. So you guys will have to beat a pair of ones as far as the dice game goes.
I'll go back to Poland. I don't know if it's her, but I will.
And she's looking intent.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to look her up and watch some of her old matches and see some of the...
I don't know much about her. I run the Blaze. I've watched the Blaze though, but
yeah, I mean, most people know Alundra Blaze better as Medusa. So it just depends on when you started watching wrestling and what shows you were watching, etc.
And any one of those shots could take you out for good.
But anyway, so continuing on with WrestlePalooza, we also know that CM Punk and AJ Lee defeated Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. And before we get into some of the things that happened during that matchup, Luke and I were already talking about it before we went live, but holy hell, did AJ Lee ever look good in that ring after 10 years away from the business? I don't know, man. It takes a special human being. It really does. The only other time I can remember something like that happening was The Rock was gone for about 7 years, 6 years, 7 years, something like that. And he came back and he totally out-wrestled everybody and showed everybody on the... It was crazy. But, yeah. Who?
Rock was a good wrestler.
Oh yeah, I mean, as far as, especially considering he was one of those over the top characters, right? They don't always have great wrestling ability, but The Rock had some great wrestling ability. I mean, he could. Yeah. You know, he could brawl. He could wrestle technically. I wouldn't say his transitions were always so great. Like, sometimes he looked a little slow transitioning from move to move. But he was good in the ring. He was very good in the ring. He was safe. He was exciting, electrifying, if you will. Right? He was electrifying. But yeah, that's the only other time I can remember that, because AJ did not miss a beat. She looked absolutely sensational in there. It was really something special.
I love when she did that Black Widow to Seth Rollins in the ring.
Yeah. Well, that's how she won the match, right? She forced Becky Lynch to tap. She tapped out the man. And now I fully expect... Well, yeah, I think AJ, because Becky's not going to take that loss lying down. She's going to have shit to say. They're going to continue feuding. At that point, I think AJ Lee faces Becky Lynch, probably at Survivor Series. It could even happen before Survivor Series, who knows? But I'm guessing Survivor Series, I think. That's my bet. I don't think it's going to happen next month or anything. You know what I mean? I think they'll build that up just a bit. And of course, we'll probably at some point see Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Punk is going to win that title from Seth Rollins at some point, right? You know, I don't know if that's going to end their feud or if that's just going to fuel the add fuel to the fire. We'll see what happens there. I was very disappointed that Drew McIntyre lost last night. Not going to lie. I know we're not there yet, but it was not a good match. No, it was not a good match at all. It was, yeah.
Well, 40 matches have been boring recently, I think.
Well, that's why I thought it would be a good time to take the title off him again, right? And have him.
I don't know. Like, Drew will get the run eventually.
For me,
no one's ready to put him against him.
and I'm a pretty big Cody Rhodes fan for many reasons. You know, his family lineage alone is enough to be a fan. But I mean, for me personally, I always find it more entertaining to see Cody chasing a title than holding the title. He's just one of those. Yeah, he's just one of those characters. It's. I wonder if Drew legitimately hurt himself last night. If not, he really sold it well, because even after the match was over, he sold that leg injury. You know, did you see that when he looked like he hurt his shin?
Yeah, I see that.
I don't know if that was an actual legit injury. Maybe that's why Cody won. Who knows? I don't know. But I was really hoping. I want Drew to get that title back. You know, if there's anybody in recent history besides Randy Orton that deserves another championship run, because for me they screwed him over after the COVID era. Well, actually, I think we were just pulling slowly out of the COVID era when they had Bobby Lashley take the title and then did nothing with it, and then proceeded thereafter to not even give Drew another rematch for it. So, but I think Drew McIntyre absolutely deserves a rematch for that championship, and where he can actually win. I'm still burned up that they had him lose in Scotland. I thought that was awful. That's something Vince McMahon would do. He lost to Roman Reigns. You know, he had lost that Clash at the Castle. You know, and then he lost. That's true. You're actually really not wrong about that. That's true. Not many people do win in their hometown. I wonder why that is. You know, you think you'd want that extra pop from the crowd, or you know, that would sell extra tickets if they know that they're one of their the sons of their city are performing in the ring. You know what I mean? They're going to buy tickets because you know they're going to win that match. But you're right. You know, predominantly when people go to their hometowns, they do tend to lose. It's kind of fucked up, eh? Who the hell wants to go to their hometown to lose? You know, it's happened to everybody from Bret Hart to Adam Copeland to, you know, so many people have gone home wrestled championship matches while they were there and lost. Brett did. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I sort of kind of understand why they did it. I didn't like it. You know, it's one of those things. I mean, should it have really happened? I don't know. Life says Drew carried WWE on his fucking back during... Yeah, exactly. But people only seem to remember Roman Reigns. You know, it's like Roman wasn't the one that carried through the COVID era. It was... I mean, he was part of it, but Drew McIntyre during the COVID era was a bigger deal than Roman Reigns at the time.
Yeah, he was,
And to me, they just completely screwed Drew McIntyre, and I hated it. I like Drew a lot. I've always liked Drew, right from the time where he came in as the chosen one. Remember, he was supposed to be Vince's chosen one, but then he ended up, you know, he ended up going to TNA and having a career there for a while, and later on came back. So, but he came back twice as good as when he left. So he was one of those people that left and actually bettered themselves before returning. So that was cool. When he says WrestleMania was at Vegas last year, and Karrion Kross, who's from there, wasn't even on... Yeah, I know. Wasn't even on the card. I don't understand what their issue... Queen Dust just got eliminated by Bull Nakano. We are down to a triple threat matchup here. Alundra Blaze, the great B. Jackson, who's the reigning defending champion, and Bull Nakano.
Back into the ring she comes.
I don't understand what the deal is with Karrion Kross, but I'll tell you, that's, besides LA Knight, that's one of my grievances these days, is, in my opinion, I don't speak for anybody else, obviously, but in my opinion, Karrion Kross deserves to be a champion. He's a full package. He's a great character. He's believable. You know what I mean? He cuts great promos. He's a good wrestler. Like he looks the part, right? He's well built, and I don't get it. Like, it pisses me off, kind of. I would love to see them do something more with Karrion Kross. I mean, what are they thinking? Between him and LA Knight, I don't understand the business. It's like they're catering to Seth Rollins. And oh, me too. I love Seth. But it seems to be that they're catering to him right now, you know? LA Knight should already be world champion, in my opinion. Oni says he's also the girl. Or, sorry, he's also got the girl. Yeah, he does, yeah. Yeah, there's another person that they should have done more with, was Scarlett. Scarlett was very talented, actually. Oh, yeah, great manager. She's even good in the ring. Yep. They're basically the friend-zoned characters. Yeah, well, I mean, don't get me wrong, I fully actually believe that they'll be back. I'm not buying that they're gone from WWE for good at the moment, because, I mean, they haven't even had discussions with other companies. There's been no rumors of them going anywhere else. The only thing I could see happening is Karrion and Scarlett show up in TNA. I could see that. Yeah, they're friend zoned. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what you mean. Yep. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I think that the whole releasing of Karrion and Scarlett is a work. I think they're going to repackage them a bit, and they're either going to show up in TNA or back on the WWE roster, one of the two. If I had to guess, they'll send them to TNA for a bit. Because, again, they're trying to build that roster up too, right? Like, you're going to see a lot of moves and pushes for TNA in 2026. They really are. They're going to be the promotion to watch in 2026.
Yeah.
So AJ Lee and CM Punk were able to defeat Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Of course, again, AJ slapped on the Black Widow to Becky Lynch and was able to tap her in. So they won via submission. That brings us to Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. We were just talking about that. Again, I'm I'm fairly disappointed that Drew lost that match. However, to be fair, Luke probably remembers, I did say I want Drew to win, but it probably won't happen. And I don't know why it didn't happen. Hopefully that feud continues in some manner, because I still want Drew to get that championship back. Because I believe that belt belongs around his waist for a period of time. He's always been so good to watch, so entertaining to watch. I really like Drew McIntyre. So, but yeah. So it looked like at one point. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is all. The winner of the match and your new TWA Women's Legends Champion, representing Team Infinite Oni, Bull Nakano. Your new Legends Champion. She's going home with the gold to Team Infinite Oni's, well, you may as well call them a roster. And it's not really a faction of any kind, but he has a roster of very talented superstars. It's absolutely insane. And now he just added some gold to his management team. So congratulations to Team Infinite Oni, and of course Bull Nakano becoming the new Women's Legends Champion. B. Jackson has finally been dethroned. It was down to a triple threat. Looks like Alundra Blaze might have eliminated B. Jackson. Nope, she didn't. Was it Bull? I know she just eliminated Alundra Blaze to win the match, but I actually didn't see who beat B. Jack. Oh, shit. Yeah, that probably did it. Yeah, so Bull Nakano defeated Alundra and B. Jackson. Wow. There we are. The new Women's Legends Champion.
She's done it. Won herself the title. She has got to be on cloud 9 right now. She
wow.
came here with one
Infinite Oni's like, woo!
she accomplished it.
That was a slow count? Yeah, it kind of was. I know exactly what part you're talking about. Her first opportunity, too. Yep. Team Ultraviolet. See you in a bit, hopefully. You're starting EVW? Okay. I'm sure we'll all be over at some point. We will all be over at some point. All right, congratulations again to Team Infinite Oni, Team Ultraviolet, if you will. And Bull Nakano, they now have possession of the coveted TWA Legends Championship. Moving on, we of course had a poll, the masses spoke, and we have our challengers. It was a 3-way tie. Luke the Gooner, representing, of course, Team Luke the Gooner 94, and LCW. He just has to advertise LCW all over TWA's programming. Fucking British asshole. We got Zach Payne representing Team Ace Hunter, and of course the Ego Club. The Phenom Joe Lincoln representing Team Joe Link, and of course Phenomenal Soul, and the reigning defending one champion representing Team Rocky Cross and Tessa James. It is Mad Dog, the reigning defending champ, putting his title on the line. Fatal 4-way matchup, ladies and gentlemen, but it is one fall wins it all. So let's get things rocking and rolling. Who is walking out?
Did you what Tony Khan did recently?
No.
He put Okada in a tournament, right?
Yeah.
Tournament for the title, right? It's a tournament for his own belt, and he has to wrestle through the entire tournament. How fucking stupid that?
Well, I mean, it depends if it's random. If it's random, it's very stupid. If there's a storyline behind it, and they built up to it, and forced the champion to enter his own tournament, I'd be okay with that. Other than that, the champion should never be in.
Yeah, but you have to wrestle. You have to wrestle all the way.
Yeah.
Wrestle all the way.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
I mean, typically no. Again, if there was a storyline purpose behind it, then fine. Other than that, the champion should never actually be wrestling in the tournament. You know, why are we taking a spot away from another superstar who's looking to fight for the right to fight the champion? If you've got the champion in that spot, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah. So, I mean, WrestlePalooza, exceeded my expectations. It was very entertaining. I loved the setup. Again, the arena looked fantastic. I liked the look of the commentators' booths even. I know that's a silly thing to point out, but I thought they looked really cool. And it was just a good show. We had some surprises along the way. We found out that Stephanie McMahon being inducted into the Hall of Fame. John Cena got his fucking ass whooped, destroyed, annihilated, decimated. Name your cliche, it happened, and it was absolutely fantastic. And the best part of that was when the camera was panning and all those John Cena, because he brought a bunch of kids out, which I fucking hated, by the way. If they were in the audience, okay. Or if Cena won the match and they brought them out to celebrate with Cena, okay. But why are you bringing a bunch of kids out onto the stage, you know, when you're just about to go into the fight of your life against Brock Lesnar? I thought it was weird. I didn't like it. But I did like watching all those little kids crying and bawling their eyes out as Brock Lesnar dismantled the last great champion, John Cena. I thought it was great. Weird behavior, hating on AEW. Who's hating on AEW, damn it? AEW put on a good show yesterday. I was actually just about to get to that. Who's hating on AEW? I will have life ban you. How dare you all. If you watched them, did you enjoy AEW All Out and WrestlePalooza?
I haven't watched All Out. I can't comment.
I don't even see... Did somebody say something about AEW? I don't see it. I wish the fucking numbers would pop up so that people knew what the hell they were playing for dice and blackjack and everything. For some reason, it hasn't popped up yet. It's kind of weird. Yo, Jack is in the house. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? You missed Shade's match. He was, of course, the tone setter of the day. It was a great matchup. You just missed Bull Nakano becoming the TWA Legends champion. B. Jackson has been dethroned. Dethroned. Look at that, we got the welcome message again before we got our numbers for the day. What the hell? Not too bad, just making this wrestler. How are you? I'm doing good. Doing good. Had to switch things up a little bit today and run the show a little bit earlier than I normally would, which is fine. It's Sunday. I mean, I've said it before. I said it earlier, actually. Is Sundays are one of those days where people get busier as the day goes on. You know, it's usually the day before they're going back to work. They got things to do, either around the house or family to see or going to have dinner, whatever. So at the same time, I was like, well, you know, maybe it's more beneficial to run the show earlier today than later. But you missed Mr. Link? Yeah, he's been super busy. I mean, I've been talking with him on a regular basis, and he's been keeping up the Joe Link's match recaps. So, I mean, he's paying attention. He knows what's going on. He probably knows more about what's going on than some of the people in our chat room. Like, you know, Rocky Cross. Like Rocky Cross. We may as well tease Rocky Cross, Luke, today, because he can't ban us. He cannot swear jar us. He cannot cut our cords. He cannot redeem Blissful Matchup. He is fooked. We can just say, who the fook is that guy? But, yeah, we all miss Joe Link. It'd be awesome if... sometimes he goes live on Sundays. We might see him on Twitch later, perhaps. I don't know. Depends how busy he is. Sometimes he's got other obligations because he has kids as well. He works a lot. He's got children. He's married with a family, so... And I feel that because the only reason I've been able to pump out some more consistent content lately is because for the first time in the 4 years I've worked at my job, I have had weekends off the entire fucking summer. So it's been fantastic. I've got to spend extra time with my daughter because sometimes my visitation got screwed up, much less the rest of life when they kept changing my days off and all that crap they were doing for the longest period of time. But he's kind of in the same boat, and but yeah, Joe Link will always be a huge part of this community, and I truly appreciate with how busy he is. He still keeps up. He watches every single show, every single match, does match recaps for our community. He helps me create new logos all the time, so he's very much still involved. He's just not able to make some of the shows. And of course, he wishes he could. But don't worry, he knows what's going on. He watches, obviously. He's the one that does our recaps. Oh yeah, he's an awesome.
He's still got Chris in mind, but he doesn't like, if somebody watches those though, but he's still got Chris.
Yeah. Yep. But anyway, you got any plans today, Jack? What are you doing today? Did you get your homework done yesterday? Life, did you get your homework? We need to plug at Jack and Life here because they told us they were doing homework yesterday. Remember that? Before Jack went and got his nudie magazines, he was coming home to do some homework. Life had said she had homework to do. Did you guys get your homework done? We all want to know. No. Oddly enough, I was actually not in public school or elementary school, depending on what you call it. Primary school, depends on where you are, what you call it. Everybody calls it something different, but I didn't really do it much then. I'll tell you, I enjoyed high school, but for some reason I was more interested in my education in high school than I was in public school, I guess. So some people do worse in high school than they did in public school. I was the opposite. I actually excelled in high school and started to enjoy certain aspects of things. I've always liked learning too. I'm constantly still learning. Like I watch documentaries all the time. I've always read to my children and helped them with homework and encouraged education. I'm just that kind of guy. I kind of wish I had done better things with my education. There was advice I took when it came to education and certain things that I shouldn't have listened to and went with my gut instead. The other thing I wish I would have done is I wish I would have served my country for a few years. I had a lot of friends that did, and I think it's one of those things that are important. You don't necessarily have to go into active duty, but you should at least go in and serve some time in the military and serve your country. And not to mention, I could have got a higher and free education. There's many reasons why, because I always wanted to fly jets. Yeah. Thing was my cousin was in the military, and he flat out said, he goes, Michael, you'll get fucking put in what do you call it, solitary confinement, because I was a little bit rebellious, right? I was a little bit rebellious. I never really liked being told what to do. It wasn't until my martial arts career kind of seeped into my head a little further. When I was in I started when I was 8, but it wasn't until I was in my later teens when these wise people got into my head and kind of taught me how to control my emotions, my behaviors, etc. Martial arts is a fantastic thing. It really is. I've always told people it's absolutely hands down the best exercise on the planet that gives you knowledge. And if you learn from the right people like I did, and you learn from actual practitioners and people that want to actually teach the art properly, you learn you're part of a different culture, you learn part of a different language, you're learning respect, you're learning how to increase your confidence and your self-esteem. They always throw in self-defense, and you do learn self-defense, but I mean, I've never... Martial arts were not created for self-defense. That's just something they say to appease parents and appease people, and it helps sell martial arts on a larger scale in different countries and even North America. Because you're not just like for instance, look how long it took for UFC to become legal, because people saw it as human cockfighting, etc. So martial arts was never really appreciated on the level it is today until later, right? It was seen as dangerous, violent. So they tried to push it as self-defense. Martial arts weren't created for self-defense. They were fucking created for combat. Did they have to defend themselves with it? Yes. But I mean, I kind of think that goes with any hand-to-hand combat, whether it's martial arts or being taught to utilize, knives, guns, whatever. So martial arts are very good for your life if you're willing to commit to it. A lot of people don't. A large percentage of people join and quit. They can't, it's, again, if you're at the right school, learning from the right people, it's a bit of a long journey. I've heard people say, I got my black belt in 3 to 5 years. Oh, good for you. That's nice. It's a bit of a journey.
Would it be funny if you put a Mickey James shirt on the guy?
Who did?
If you put a Mickey James shirt on Gooner, that would be...
On Gooner? I mean, I've never even considered really putting a Mickey James shirt on Luke the Gooner, but where did that come from? That was fucking random.
I'm just saying as a joke.
Well, I mean, obviously, but where did that come from? That was so random. Why the hell are the numbers not popping up? It's starting to really annoy me, actually. Like, I'm gonna have to look it up just so fucking people know. Hold on, I'll look it up. This is ghastly. I'll paste the message and I'll pin it. Is what I'll do. Oh, and Rocky, you are leading at Dice currently. Just to put that out there. I was correct about that. You are leading at the Dice game with a pair of ones. So you guys got to beat a pair of ones.
Puts an end to that. Oh, man. Did you hear the snap of the kendo stick? Crossroads! He's heading to the top.
All right, so I'm going to pin that.
Heading to the top. Sky high. A sky high low down.
There we go.
It's been a hardship for these superstars to get to this.
So the lotto is 3, 4, 7, or any combination of those numbers, don't forget. Your Dice is a 2 and a 6, but Rocky Cross has already beat that with a pair of ones. So you guys got to either tie Rocky Cross with a pair of ones, or get a pair of twos, or a pair of anything, really. Blackjack is an ace and a 7, so that's 18. 3, 4, 4. Oh, who got that? Moon Raider. That was so close, man. That was so close. That's the closest so far that anybody's come to winning the lotto. So yeah, Rocky, you're leading at. I don't know if you heard me, if you're busy or what's going on, but yeah, you're leading at Dice right now with that pair of ones until somebody either ties it or beats it. So we had another show yesterday, right? All Out, which was of course put on by AEW, and let me tell you, I watched it, and it was a very, very good show. The only thing I'm going to throw out there immediately is that I didn't really care for the coffin match. I didn't really care. Yeah, before did I say it? Were we live or was that before we were live? I forget. But I didn't. It was before. Okay. Hey, you know what I got to tell you guys before I even continue with that? Holy fuck, this is a good match. This is a one fall wins it all, and we have not even, like, it's been so back and forth. Everybody is just putting on a fucking tremendous display here today for the one championship. So again, Luke the Gooner, Zach Payne, and Joe Lincoln were chosen by the masses in the poll to be the next challengers for Mad Dog's one championship. That is what's happening today. A lot of the times we do elimination matches. Today is straight up fatal four-way, one fall wins it all. But what a match. At this point, this might so far be the best match of the show. We still have, 6 matches to go, but this is a tremendous, tremendous match. Tremendous matchup with the one championship on the line. But yeah, so I didn't like the coffin match, but there was some really good matches on the card, and it was entertaining. That's the one thing AEW seems to always do correctly, though, right? Pay-per-views. You know, I don't understand how they accomplish it, especially considering a lot of the time the direction of their shows are inconsistent. They're not necessarily easy to understand what's happening, even random at times. But All Out was such a great show. And of course, Edge and Beth Phoenix were at home in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, where All Out was for 2025. And yeah, the crowd loved it. They ate it up, especially when Beth Phoenix came out. We'll get there at some point. So the show, in addition to being a good show, it also marked the first. I'm reading an article here. I'm trying to remember who it's from. I think it might be Bleacher's Report. Well, apparently it's called The Takedown, and it's by Lyric Swinton. Actually, this article was only published 6 hours ago. So all eyes were on Toronto's Scotiabank Arena as AEW presented the 7th edition of All Out, and the first to be held outside of Chicago. Wow, that is it. That is all. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, and still TWA 1 champion, representing Team Tessa James and Rocky Cross. It is Mad Dog, a member of the Death Authority, picking up the big W, defending his championship, and going home with the gold. Congratulations to Rocky Cross and Tessa James and the Death Authority, which is a tremendously growing faction, both in on the men's side and the women's side. I mean, we have Tessa and Morgan James. Now they've added Big Farmer Jackson and Nikita Davis to Lady Death Authority. Death Authority already has Joe and JoJo Davis, Rocky Cross, and Mad Dog. I mean, what a huge faction. And they are already collecting gold and leaving paths of destruction wherever they go. So it's actually been... Speaking of paths of destruction today, what did everybody think of the Wyatt Six becoming TWA World's Tag Team Champions yesterday? Actually dethroned the Ego Club. That was awesome. I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't see it coming, but it was awesome. So it was the first to be held outside of Chicago since 2020. Between WWE WrestlePalooza and college football, there was also a lot of competition for the fans' attention, but AEW put together a huge card with major title defenses from both world champions, the pay-per-view in-ring returns of fan favorites like Eddie Kingston, Riho, 2 decades in the making, Toronto reunion for Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, and a lot more happened. Again, the show also marked the first AEW pay-per-view to be available live on HBO Max. To further celebrate the strengthening relationship between AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery, which might be being sold to Netflix. I mean, if that happens, where does that leave AEW?
Yeah.
Because I literally just read that they're interested in buying Warner Brothers. Very interesting, right? Very interesting. You know what, though? I don't see the need to squash AEW. Why not help them out, too? Why not open the forbidden door up for them, too? You know, too many egos, maybe? I don't know, but... You know, Tony Khan could definitely use the help. He may have money, but he has no fucking clue what he's doing. No fucking clue what he's doing. So, they need the help. They have a lot of talent. They've always been a promising company, and I don't want to see AEW disappear. I don't. And I don't like this narrative that that's what's happening, is they're looking to basically end AEW. I don't want to see that happen. I don't think any real wrestling fan wants to see that happen. Even if we do go back and forth, you know, AEW versus WWE and all that stuff, any real wrestling fan appreciates AEW. We may pick it apart sometimes. That's Tony Khan's fault. That has literally nothing to do with their talent. They have some of the best talent in the business. But it's Tony Khan and the way he books matches and championships, and he has no consistency on shows. They still deliver with pay-per-views, but I want to see more consistency with shows. I say get rid of most of their shows and just have, you know, Dynamite until they can figure out a better direction for the company. They got too many shows, and they're in the process of ruining ROH. I don't like that either. But AEW, there's too much talent there for them to be going out of business, so that can't happen. But, so yeah, it was the first to be live on HBO Max. AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery. The pre-show for All Out was held at Tailgate Brawl Special and aired live on TNT and HBO Max at 2 p.m. Eastern. Major highlights from the show included AEW Men's World Champion Hangman Adam Page retaining his title against TNT champion Kyle Fletcher in an epic main event. That was actually a really good matchup. I'm not a huge Adam Page fan. I'll always be the first to say that. I'm not an Adam. I don't hate him or anything.
No, I'm not either.
But I'm not an Adam Hangman Page fan. But that was a good match. I'll give credit where credit is due. Page and Fletcher, they put on a spectacle. It was a very good match. But yeah, so that was interesting for me.
I'm gonna head off anyway. Just get watch the game, please.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
I watch your own fucking thing, you know what I mean?
I mean, you can watch football on TV and still have the YouTube and the show on your phone. I mean, I don't see the issue.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Well, you can still talk on the broadcast. What are you going to be doing? Talking to the people on the field? Are you going to be doing commentary for Team Arsenal? You bastard.
I don't think people want to hear me, like, shouting in that TV and stuff like that. And, like,
that's fine. We have Moon Raider. Moon Raider is here. He's watching football, too, but he's not abandoning us. It's fine. It's all good. Oh, now we're going back in the see Moon. Luke is sometimes like that. You know, that ex-girlfriend. You got to bring up the past every time she see you. Also, Chris Statlander pinned Timeless Tony Storm in a 4-way clash to become the new AEW Women's Champion. And when I found out that was happening, I did wonder, because Tony Storm is a very strong champion. She's very, very good in the ring, promos, working the crowd. She's awesome. You know, her character is way better than anything WWE ever did. Yeah, I mean, I liked her in WWE too, but her character now is way better than anything she did in WWE. But it was a good time to take the title off of her, because individually, right now, none of those people were just going to beat her in a one-on-one, in my opinion. But Chris Statlander, now the AEW Women's World Champion, and is also the first woman in AEW to hold both the TBS and the Women's World titles. Because, of course, like Luke and I were talking about earlier, for some reason, Mercedes Moné is being held to the TBS championship division and not being pushed towards the AEW Women's World title. I don't really understand why or what's happening with that, but that's the way of it at the moment. All right, so again, congratulations to Rocky Cross and Tessa James. Mad Dog retaining his one championship after a fantastic fatal 4-way, one fall wins it all matchup. Up next, Alexis James from Team Luke the Gooner 94 takes on Julia Jackson and the reigning defending one champion representing Team Joe Link and the Outlaws. It is Dangerous Amber Extreme. Actually, hold on. It is the captain, Dangerous Amber Extreme, putting her championship on the line against the two Vixen villains that you guys chose in the poll. They are your challengers. They are getting their shot. And again, it is triple threat, but it is one fall wins it all.
I'll catch you there. The Arsenal player. I'm still going to be watching on the goal.
Well, you have to watch. Alexis James is about to do her thing. She's about to make her way to the ring. All right, enjoy the football game. I mean, we have the sports bot, so we'll be updated, but feel free to update us in the chat, because you might be quicker than the sports bot.
How do I... You have to tell me how to put that in my chat later on. It's a bit of hard.
Yeah, I will, yeah. Yeah, I will.
That'd be good for me, that.
Yep, I mean, I can't remember where I got that from, but Luke has officially left the broadcast booth. It is down to Moonraider and I. How dare he? How dare he? Mad Dog says, I was challenged by 3 big guys. I will bow down for each guy who put up a good fight, but at the end of the day, I still came home with the gold. And Archer, did you forget the newest member? I mean, who's the newest member? Who we got the Social Outcast. They joined Lady Death Authority. Yeah, I didn't remember that they had a new member. So I guess I did. Oh, that's right, Queen Dust. I did know that. She joined Lady Death Authority too. That's right, Lady Death Authority is now 5 members strong. I forgot about well, momentarily. I mean, obviously now that you put it in chat, I do remember that now. I think it's because, like, I just found that out, like, yesterday, didn't I? And it's kind of a shock to me that I did not think that Team Moonraider and Queen Dust would join Lady Death Authority. I just didn't see it happening. So... But here we go. Triple threat. One fall wins it all. Dangerous Amber Extreme putting her championship on the line against Julia Jackson and Alexis James. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. We appreciate you, Moonraider. We do, the masses and myself, for not taking off like Luke the Gooner 94 so we can watch football. Because I'm sure you're keeping track of the game. And you're here on the broadcast booth with the masses, watching the show, enjoying the best of both worlds. Apparently Luke can't do 2 things at once.
Gentlemen, I think she's about to start a fight.
And here she comes. representing the League of Nations. A member of the Jackson family, the great Jackson family, the infamous Jackson family. It is Julia Jackson making her way to the squared circle. Of course, when we're done today's show, we'll be heading over to Infinite Oni's channel on Twitch. He's live on Twitch TV today. He is live on Twitch TV today. It's funny watching the viewers bounce in and out of the show. And that's because most people don't pay for YouTube subscriptions or anything. So you can't float your... Like, you know how with... You can pretty much do anything you want while you're watching Twitch because you get a floating... widget, right? You get a widget that floats so you can do more than but YouTube shuts off as soon as you go to a different app or if you're Googling something. 809, unlucky. Moonraider was the closest with 344 because the numbers are 347. Again, it's pinned at the top for anybody that can't remember what the numbers are. You still have to beat a pair of ones unless somebody already did. Rocky Cross had a pair of ones, and Blackjack is an ace and a 7. So you got to beat 18. The house is 18 today.
You are looking at a woman at the top of her game, ready to compete for that title.
Alexis James representing Team Luke the Gooner 94, and of course, Country Dominance. Fallon Henley, Mickey James, and Alexis James. The Hardcore Country Trio. Hence Country Dominance. Five out of 10. There's only 15.
A woman who's accomplished.
I haven't played myself yet today. I want to see what animal I am for the day first. Here comes the reigning defending champion. She is the WCW Women's World Champion and the TWA 1 Champion. Representing Team Joe Link. And, of course, the Outlaws. The Captain, Dangerous. Amber Extreme is in the house. I am an elephant today. Fantastic. I am an elephant. Let's see what vehicle I'm driving. Rocky Cross is Ric Flair. I'm driving a Maserati. That fucking elephant would crush that thing. I mean, that's not fair. I finally get a nice car and I'm going to crush it because I'm a fucking elephant. Who's the tiger? Rocky is a tiger. Of course he is. I mean, that sucks. I finally get a decent car to drive through the arena in, and I'm going to crush it because I'm a goddamn elephant today. Let's see what superstar I am. Better not be Riddle. I'll have to ban somebody out of frustration. Moonraider is a grizzly bear. I am Alexa Bliss today. I am part of the Outlaws. I am from Team Joe Link. I'm a multiple-time champion. Ooh, Moonraider is Kane today. Fuck yeah.
No rules, no friends. And even if you were friends beforehand,
alright, let's see if I can...
It's easy to overthink going into this match, but
let's see what I get for...
victory here is to adapt.
Wow, look at that. Right off the hop. 100% World Championship worthy. Holy fuck.
Sent right into the corner.
The first person to get a 99, I will give that opportunity to, because I don't keep them. So the first person to get a 99, the dreaded 99, I will give that World Championship opportunity to. That's how we're going to do that. 87.
That's the beauty of a no disqualification match.
Let's see. What have I not done? Did I play Lotto yet? I don't think I did. Let's play the Lotto.
Sliding in under the rope. She's back in the ring. Ooh, well-planted knee. Ouch.
Who got 99? Boss Apollo. Boss Apollo, you just got yourself a championship opportunity. Because right off the hop, I drew 100. I don't know if you heard it, if you were already here. But welcome in, by the way. But I just said the first person to get 99 will get the World Championship opportunity. Who do you want that championship opportunity to go to? Make sure you screenshot it and put it in Redemptions section on Discord, Boss Apollo. But congratulations, that's awesome. That happened quick.
Massive miscalculation on that one.
What are my numbers?
Punishing stretch.
My numbers are 185 unlucky, 804 unlucky. I haven't played blackjack yet. Let's see what I can do with that. Joe Davis? Okay. That makes sense because JoJo's, you know, consistently busy with Rocky and Mad Dog, so give him some. I mean, he's had a lot so far this season. He's wrestled less than JoJo. It's usually the other way around, really. An ace and of course I get an ace and a 6. It's an ace and a 7 that we have to beat.
Back into the ring now. She's heading outside the ring now. She's getting something from
Pair of 8s got 16. Got to beat 18.
You can't go wrong with the kendo stick. Anticipated that.
So yeah, none of us are doing very well, except for I got 100% World Championship worthy, which Boss Apollo has been gifted because he got the dreaded 99. He was the first person to get the dreaded 99.
She gets the shoulder up. She just won't stay down.
Super kick finds the mark.
And she reversed it.
All right. So yeah, let's see who else can become World Championship worthy today. So far, Boss Apollo. And I think Rocky Cross is still leading with a pair of 1s. Well, that's what I haven't done today. I haven't rolled yet.
Both arms trapped.
So you got to tie Rocky to get a roll off or get a pair of 2s to beat him.
Taking things back into the ring.
2 to 4. Unlucky.
Oh, horrific crack in the back. Has the champ pinned. Is this
Unlucky.
And she thwarts the pin attempt in 1.
Wow. I thought for sure that was it.
Trap the arm.
Rocky's trying to play the lotto again. 178 unlucky. So yeah, so AEW All Out was a really, really good show. For those that haven't seen it yet, you definitely want to check it out. Again, the only match that I didn't really care for through the whole show was the coffin match. I just didn't do it for me. I don't know what it was. I don't know. And of course, having to watch Jon Moxley bleed again for the 1000th time this year. You know, it's like he has to bleed in every match. He's like the new Ric Flair. You know, there was a period of time where you could guarantee Ric Flair was bleeding. Hey, Moon, back in the day, Ric Flair always bleeding. It would be all over his, well, either blonde or white hair, depending on when it happened. But so Adam Copeland and or better known as Edge and Christian Cage defeated Copeland's former friends FTR in the show's opener, which featured the AEW debut of Beth Copeland. That sounds funny. Formerly known as Beth Phoenix, obviously. But yeah, Beth Copeland. Adam and Beth Copeland now. All right, we can run with that, but I don't know. I must have missed that yesterday because I don't recall them saying that, but clearly I'm wrong. So the show kicked off with an entrance from Bryan Danielson, heading to the commentary desk in front of a sold-out Scotiabank Arena. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus FTR opens the show. Before the match, we saw Copeland and Christian entering the arena and running into Canadian legends Wendell Clark, Bubbles, and the Green Bastard. What a time to be alive, folks, to see all those people at the same wrestling event at the same time. Dax Harwood is starting out the match for FTR with noticeably taped up nose after it busted in a brawl with CNC at September to Remember. Adam Copeland hit Cash Wheeler with a 5-knuckle shuffle attitude adjustment combo. Yeah, he actually did do that. In case anybody's wondering, I'm not joking. That actually happened. Adam Copeland hit him with a 5-knuckle shuffle and an attitude adjustment combo. Yeah, that happened. Copeland and Christian put FTR and Sharpshooter simultaneously as an homage to Canadian legend Bret Hitman Hart. Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood started slapping each other to make sure the other didn't tap out.
She knew how to evade that.
In an homage to each other, Copeland and Christian did each other's finisher on FTR before going for the pins. Why is this messing around on me? I hate when you're reading something and some sort of ad scrolls your article down or up, and you gotta fucking find where you were again. Before going for the pins, they seemed like they were about to win before Stokely interfered. Then Beth Copeland, formerly known as Beth Phoenix, made her AEW debut to spear Stokely and haul him out of the arena. With a vicious spear, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage secured the win over FTR. Beth Copeland came back out to celebrate with the team, but then Kip Saban, Mother Wayne, and Nick Wayne came out to distract them while FTR attacked them from behind. FTR then handcuffed Copeland to the ropes and circled Beth. She kissed her husband before trying to fight off Hardwood and Wheeler, but was inevitably laid out by a spiked piledriver. I mean, that was one part I wasn't sure how I felt about. You know? We're getting that spiked piledriver. Wow, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. The winner of the match and your new TWA 1 champion. Representing Country Dominance and Team Luke the Gooner 94. Alexis James going home with the gold. She is your new TWA 1 champion. Congratulations, Luke. And of course, congratulations to Country Dominance. I wonder if Luke even saw it or if he's too busy yelling at the TV. He could be yelling at the TV by now, depending on what's happening and exactly how long the game has been. I mean, somebody could have scored by now. Arsenal could be losing. There's a lot of things that could factor into that. I did make a prediction earlier, though, that Team Arsenal would defeat Man City today by a score of 2-1. Wait, is it Man United they're facing or Man City they're facing today? I forget, but I said that Team Arsenal wins 2-1. It's my prediction for the day. I don't know if anybody really watches football or not. I do. I love football, a.k.a. soccer. I just prefer the term football. It's the only sport that actually deserves the name. They actually use their fucking feet. I mean, let's face it, American football is hand-egg. Pigskin combat, maybe even. But it is far... I mean, it should not be called football. It should not be called football. I mean, considering how violent the U.S. can be, I'm surprised pigskin combat was never thought of. City just fucking scored. See? I'm right. Luke was definitely yelling. Luke, did you see the end of that match? Do you see what's going on right now in TWA? Did you see who won the TWA 1 championship? Out of curiosity. Inquiring minds must know. Alright, congratulations to Alexis James. We are moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Why the hell is Sarah Suzuki with the New Age Outlaws? That is very strange. I'm not really sure what's up with that. But our next match of the day, ladies and gentlemen. The New Age Outlaws picked up a big W yesterday. It was, however, by countout, but they still picked up a big W in their return to professional wrestling, their debut for TWA. It is Mr. Ass, Badass Billy Gunn, and the Road Dogg, Jesse James, taking on JoJo Davis and Rocky Cross. They are the Death Authority. And this is for the WCW World Tag Team Championships. That is next. Let's keep the ball rolling. Showtime and go time. Time to turn and burn. Alexis with the W? Yeah, absolutely, yep. That was a great match, too, not to mention, and a big win for Alexis. A big win for Alexis. I mean, against Julia Jackson and Amber Extreme. Right? The stack is automatically stacked. The deck is automatically there. I meant to say deck. Is automatically stacked against you from the get-go when you're in a matchup like, Julia Jackson, one of the best ever. Amber Extreme, one of the best ever. Multiple-time champions. Right? Alexis James. She's been around for a couple of seasons now. She's done very well as part of Country Dominance, won some singles championships. I wouldn't say she was, people would consider her on the same level as Julia or Amber Extreme yet, but she's going to get there, especially with today. I mean, that was a big win over those two Vixen villains. And we have ourselves a new TWA 1 champion. Archer, all 4 members of mine and Tessa James are updated for you. That is fantastic. Could you not just have DM'd me that instead of making me read that during the show? How dare you? I'm going to just throw it out there. I don't give a fuck about updates, attire changes, moveset changes, none of that when we're live and running the show and watching the matches and discussing what is happening as it's happening. Christian Cool used to do that shit to me all the time. You know, I'd be catching up with chat and I'd end up reading something that kind of, you know, there's certain things that break the illusion of a show, right? Who the fuck wants to talk about, you know, things outside of kayfabe? But yeah, I'll get to that later. Make sure you DM me that or I'll forget. You know I will, so just DM me. But here we go. New Age Outlaws, Death Authority. WCW World Tag Team Championships are on the line. Let's go. So it's 1-0 for City already, eh? 1-0. Moonrader, are you watching that game as well? I mean, I did assume you were, but
that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just watching the game.
Yeah. See, apparently Luke couldn't figure out how to be here and there at the same time. It's like he, you know what he's probably, I bet you he made a deal to do commentary for Man City. That's what it is. Big Man City fan, Luke is. That'd be funny to hear what he would say right now, but he's not here. He left. He abandoned us, Moonrader. He left us high and dry. Why the fuck is Sarah Suzuki with the New Age Outlaws? I'm confused right now. Did I miss something? Do I got to go back and read a promo that I missed? Did I miss a segment? I, for the life of me, can't figure out why a member of the League of Nations is escorting the New Age Outlaws. D-O-double-G. He's going to kick it doggy style. Who's a fan of the New Age Outlaws? Do you guys like the New Age Outlaws? I mean, I was a huge fan of the New Age Outlaws. I actually like the New Age Outlaws more when they were on their own, though, as opposed to when they were actually with DX.
I'm ready to hear them talk more and you talk less.
Hells yeah. Let's go. Anybody want to see the New Age Outlaws absolutely whoop the shit in a Death Authority right now? It's probably not going to happen. Death Authority are savages. But I still want to know why the hell Sarah Suzuki's out here. I mean, is the League of Nations looking to expand? Are they trying to sign the New Age Outlaws to the League of Nations? That would be fucking phenomenal. Can you imagine? They just got Adam Cole back in the mix, right? Imagine Adam Cole working with the New Age Outlaws. Wow. That could be interesting. 2-3-7. Unlucky. Again, you have to get a different combination or 3-4-7. I mean, if you get 3-4-7, that's phenomenal. But really what you have to do is just get any combination of those numbers. It could be 7-3-4, 7-4-3, 4-7-3, right? It could be any combination of those numbers. Does not matter, so keep that in mind. It's okay, Luke. Team Arsenal's going to tie it up. And then in the second half, they're going to go ahead 2-1. And they're going to hold off Man City for the 2-1 win. That's how it's going to go down. Watch me be completely wrong, Moon. Freebird rule coming into play today because Mad Dog has already had a matchup for his one championship, so Rocky Cross is in his place today at JoJo's side to defend the WCW World Tag Team Championships for Death Authority. That is a brilliant usage of the Freebird rule right there, instead of making Mad Dog compete twice in one day. Nobody wants to see anybody become injured from being overutilized, if you know what I mean. All over them still right now. Well, that's because they got the first goal. They're you know, it brings that level of excitement, that adrenaline rush, right? Arsenal's just going to have to hold them off because they're not going to tie it up till late in the first half, but they're going to go ahead 2-1 fairly early in the second half. Remember I said that. Here we go. JoJo and Jesse James kicking things off. The Road Dog. It's me. It's that D-O-double-G. Yeah, I was always a huge fan. Promo Mad Dog says, do you have a problem with us, Mr. Archer? We will show you what will happen when you go against Death Authority. I mean, I don't know why Archer would be specifically going against Death Authority. I mean, I guess if he's wrestling in, you know, as a tag team with MJF. Or who knows, Ethan Page, now part of the Coalition, maybe he's going to roll. Because a lot of the times Joe Hendry wrestles with MJF these days, so maybe Archer's going to wrestle with Ethan Page. Right now, he's going to be focused on the Legends Championship. He just entered his 13th run as Legends Champion. And, I mean, let's face it, he has a real bad habit of, you know, being able to win championships and then dropping them almost immediately, except for Season 4. That was the only exception to the rule. Hell, the man's only been TWA World Champion one time in six seasons. He's had opportunities, but he just wasn't able to climb to and rise to the occasion. Held it once. I don't even think... Did he even defend that championship? I think that championship might have been taken from him, actually. We used to have a redemption where you could explode a champion's championship run, but, man, it was being just abused at the time. Just a quick counter. Got us the break. Holland on goal is always a goal in a one-on-one situation. He's that good, yeah. Apollo the Great says, like last season. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But anyways, back to our AEW. So up next, it was Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill. The crowd came unhinged for Kingston's return. I'll be honest, I don't understand that. Never been an Eddie Kingston fan. I don't think he's that entertaining. I don't even think he's that good. But for some reason, you know, a lot of people do really like him, especially AEW fans. They absolutely love him. Eddie is wearing a Claudio Sucks Eggs shirt, which is a sign that he still probably hates Claudio Castagnoli, a.k.a. Cesaro, for those that don't know who Claudio Castagnoli is. It used to be Cesaro. And maybe the Death Riders by extension. Not exactly sure what the finish was supposed to be, but Eddie Kingston defeated Big Bill after a hard-hitting sprint of a match. Brian Keith attacked Kingston following the match, and Big Bill followed suit. The lights went out. Out comes Hook to save Eddie Kingston and fend off Bill and Keith. So Hook returns and defends Eddie Kingston. Also, that was a little bit weird, but again, I've never been an Eddie Kingston fan, but you know, I enjoyed what happened, what went down, how it unfolded. So, it is what it is. I don't dislike Eddie Kingston. I just don't understand why people think he's so great. I don't think he's that great, but he's definitely a workhorse. You know, so I have to appreciate that. Mark Briscoe versus MJF is up next in a tables and tax match. Both parties are wearing white, which is a pretty safe bet that we should expect a bloodbath. Mark Briscoe got started early with filling the ring with hundreds of thumbtacks. MJF tried to run away from the ring altogether, but Briscoe chased him back to the ring. After a struggle from both men, Briscoe was the first to go flying into the tacks. MJF rubbed Briscoe's head onto the ring canvas to embed tacks in his forehead. Briscoe continued to take the brunt of the attacks early on before finally turning the tables, figuratively, to launch MJF into the tacks and into a table on the outside of the ring. Literally, actually. He literally launched him into a table. Briscoe introduced a thumbtack covered in steel... Wait a minute. Briscoe introduced a thumbtack covered steel chair into the match, but MJF ended up using it on him and driving his skull directly into it on a scale of 1 to sicko. This one might break the scale, folks. MJF has introduced a thumbtack covered table into the match. Briscoe sent MJF through with a froggy bow from the top rope. Then he did it again. Mark Briscoe finished MJF with a J Driller and an homage to his brother to defeat MJF in the first tables and tacks match and gain revenge for his family. That was a beautiful, bloody pro wrestling. But I mean, the problem is you know, blood has its moments. You got to pick your. You get tired of seeing it all the time. You know, somebody doesn't need to bleed on every show, in every match. It just, I don't know. Why do your wrestlers bleed so easy? You know, are they not healthy? But yeah, I don't know. But anyways, Ricochet and GOA versus the Hurt Syndicate are up in trios action. In the words of the great prophet named Big E, this is classic big, meaty men slapping meat. The Hurt Syndicate is throwing Ricochet and GOA all over the ring, and their opponents are fighting back with their speed and agility. Ricochet pinned MVP once. The Hurt Syndicate spokesman was isolated in the ring, ensuing victory for his team. Weird though, right? You know, the Hurt Syndicate losing to Ricochet and GOA. I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. And MJF losing again, right? MJF seems to lose a lot for a guy that was paid $60 million to be with the company for 4 years. There's definitely, as good as the show was, there's definitely things that make you go, if you will. So, but anyways, TBS title match between Mercedes Moné and Riho is kicking off. In today's Superstar Enters, Mercedes has shirtless male models wearing her own 8 belts. Riho is playing mind games with Mercedes early on, even doing a CEO dance of her own. The CEO has taken a vicious turn, trapping Riho in the ring apron and barreling her chest with harsh forearms. She followed it with a Meteora off the commentary table. This is a rare match where Mercedes Moné has a clear size advantage. Yeah, it's very evident there was a huge size advantage because she's not even that big. But Riho's very tiny, right? She's very good, but she's very tiny. So it's a rare match where Mercedes Moné has a clear size advantage over her opponent. She's made the most of it by flipping Riho into the corner turnbuckle and following it with another Meteora. Riho has used her speed to her advantage, managing to trap the champion with a singles leg crab submission maneuver. Mercedes Moné used a distraction to the referee to lure Riho into a lung blower, then a Moné maker to retain the TBS championship in her 21st defense. It was actually a pretty good match, not gonna lie. Everybody knows I'm not the biggest Moné fan, but it was actually a pretty good match. It would have been a good opportunity for Mercedes to put somebody else over. You know, she has a lot of championships from a lot of different companies. And again, this is her 21st defense of the TBS title. Is it not time to move her on to the World Championship? Is it not time to have her put somebody over? Including maybe giving some of those championships back to the promotions whence they came? Right? And hopefully she loses to some of those people that are challenging. I hope they don't just get vacated. Again, it kind of, you know, it devalues the company. So what, that company has nobody that's on Mercedes Moné's level. So no matter who wins that world title after it's vacated, they're still not as good as Mercedes Moné. It's just weird. But, and that is it. That is all, ladies and gentlemen. the winners of the match, and still WCW World Tag Team Champions, representing Team Rocky Cross and Team Boss Apollo, JoJo Davis, and Rocky Cross, who is, of course, standing in for Mad Dog with the Freebird rule to defend the championships. They have done Death Authority very well here tonight. That's a huge title defense against the New Age Outlaws, who are coming in hot after a win, albeit it was a count-out win, but they still come in on their debut in TWA, picked up a W. They were coming in on a high on Cloud 9, looking to challenge the champions. So big championship win and title defense for Death Authority using the Freebird rule. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right, I'm going to catch up with Chad here a little bit. I don't know what I missed. Not a lot, looks like. That's good. Looks like I missed a promo. No, I already read that one. Luke says, I hate Eddie Kingston. I mean, I don't hate Eddie Kingston. I just don't understand the appeal, I guess. I don't think he's that good. I just don't think he's that good. It's just my opinion. Just my opinion. I don't understand who it is that Eddie Kingston is. I guess is part of the problem. You know, he seems to have an identity crisis, really. Neither here nor there, though. Doesn't matter what I think about Eddie Kingston personally. It was still a fun match. It was part of what made All Out such a good show. Again, the only match I didn't enjoy, really, was the coffin match. The rest of the show was fantastic. AEW is very good at putting on pay-per-views, and it was no different last night, or yesterday afternoon, actually, because it was before WrestlePalooza. But then, again, they did a great job. It was enjoyable. It was entertaining. I just didn't care for the coffin match. That's it. That's all as far as that goes. Well, that night, I thought that Riho maybe should have taken the belt from Monet, right? She doesn't need 22, 23, 24, 25 defenses of that TBS championship. I mean, she needs to be pushed on to the World's Championship division. You know, if you're going to keep having her win championships, make it make sense. 21 defenses. She's got a bunch of championships she won from other promotions. Should she not be in the World Championship title picture now? And now that they've taken the belt from Toni Storm, you know, that's even more of a likely thing. Because I wouldn't want to see Monet beat Toni Storm. I think Toni Storm is way better than Monet, so, personally. But I don't hate Eddie Kingston. I just don't understand Eddie Kingston. I don't understand the appeal. I don't understand his gimmick. I don't get it. But he still made things entertaining. So there's that. You know, it was an enjoyable match to watch. It was indeed. All right, moving on to our next match of the day. Next match, it is Penta versus Eric Dangerous for the WCW Undisputed United States Championship. This is going to be a fast-paced, high-octane matchup. It's probably going to get ugly very quickly. Penta looking to win gold, and of course Eric Dangerous, he's obsessed with gold. TDL is obsessed with gold. He is not just going to roll over and hand over that championship. It is going to be a barn burner. So sit down with a Coke and a smile, shut the fuck up, enjoy the match, because it is going to be phenomenal from bell to bell. I guarantee this matchup. Again, it's going to be very, very fast-paced and very high-octane. So keep your eyes peeled, because it could be over in a moment's notice. But here we go. Penta, Eric Dangerous, WCW United States Championship on the line. Let's rock and roll. Let's keep the ball rolling. Get things turning and burning. Did anybody else watch All Out or WrestlePalooza yesterday? I mean, you definitely don't have to sit and just listen to me speak. If anybody has an opinion on either of the shows, feel free. Boss, did you watch them? Who else watched WrestlePalooza and or All Out yesterday?
Prepare to be wowed. Prepare for the man with 0 feet.
Here comes Penta. The crowd are already on their feet. He's got his plate full with Eric Dangerous, but boy, oh boy, would this crowd ever become electrified if Penta is able to win that United States Championship. Archer, which match do you want for your title match against Topher and Brad? What do you mean? Which match do I want? Oh, you mean like a match type? It's a tag team match. Who's my partner? Who's my partner? Or who's Archer's partner, anyways? Oh, 17. You were one off of beating the house. I mean, if you get a pair of 9s, if anybody gets a pair of 9s and ties the house, right? Then I will simply draw new cards for the house. It'll be like a playoff. I'm tag team partners with Mufasa? That's interesting. Well, let's do 2 out of 3 falls inside of a steel cage. I mean, in TWA, we call that a TWA lockdown match. Life 981, unlucky. The unified WCW United States Championship after a brief feud with Aleister Black, who was mistakenly, for whatever reason, by the referee, given the United States Championship after a bout. Eric Dangerous did not take kindly to that. The challenge was made immediately, and of course we ended up with a title for title matchup between Aleister Black and Eric Dangerous, which Eric Dangerous, as you can see, became the unified, undisputed WCW United States Champion. But here we go, Penta, Eric Dangerous, about to get things underway here. The bot hates me. I mean, the bot hates everybody. It's an asshole. Stream Elements is a fucking asshole. It took forever before it started even displaying numbers for people. It kept welcomed us to the show I don't know how many times, but it took a while for everything else to follow through. By the way, if you guys still have not watched Wrestle Wars Genesis from Pooyah! Holy fuck, I can't talk. I blame Life. It is Life's fault. Life, we need to ban somebody. We need to ban... Let me try that again, shall we? I mean, that was... I tripped over my own tongue there. But the bot does hate everybody. It is an asshole. But it's too bad we can't have betting lines here, because, I mean, we are what? This is the final match before the actual, what we would consider the betting rounds.
This is arguably the biggest challenge.
There's the welcome again. Look, it's welcoming us to the show again. I don't know. I had to blame somebody.
He gets a shot before 3.
I mean, I blame Rocky Cross and everybody else for everything else, so you got to take the hit sometimes. Even though you're the queen of the Manhamas, the mod with the most holds the keys to the kingdom. She does. One of the few people that hold the keys to the kingdom. They do not need anyone's permission to handle business for TWA. What they say is what is written. What is written is what is done. So it shall be written. So it shall be done. So you got to behave when Life's around. Because if she bans your ass, don't come crying to me. I will not reverse a single solitary decision ever. Oni Shinobi is in the house. Could be set on a timer. Might have to check that. Yeah, that could be. That very well could be. Oni Shinobi, did you see that the Ninja Assassin, the Demon Ninja, Oni Shinobi yesterday was in action again on Wrestle Wars Genesis. Once again, wrestling Randleman Piper. Those two have the feud of the year going, I swear. They have the very best feud so far of Season 6 underway. Like, they're back and forth with each other. It's been phenomenal. But yeah, did you happen to see that match yet? I did send it to you. I don't know if you saw it on Discord.
Waiting for him to get back on his feet so he can strike.
I mean, I do, actually, you know, Oni, I do have it on a timer, but it's supposed to be set, I think, for every 15 or 20 minutes. It definitely didn't do that in the beginning. The welcome to the show is the only one that seems to pop up when it's supposed to. That's why I ended up having to pin the lotto numbers. But I'm going to have to check it and see exactly why it's behaving the way it is, though. Doesn't help that I've usually already talked with you about... yeah. I give warnings. It's not my fault if you keep going. Absolutely. I mean, if you're going to come in and try to troll, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah. You haven't had a chance yet? Okay. It was a fantastic match. And again, like, Oni Shinobi and Randleman Piper easily having the feud of the year. Easily. It was pretty awesome. I kind of marked out a little bit, actually, during that match. I mean, it was a great match. It was a great match. But anyways, back to AEW. It was time for the AEW Unified Championship three-way match next between Kazuchika Okada, Kensuke Takeshita, and, of course, Mascara Dorada. Don Callis is on commentary, observing two of his family members, which will almost certainly become an issue down the line, of course. Now, despite Takeshita and Okada's best efforts to focus on each other and their lingering tension, and of course they've got a long-standing rivalry and feud with each other, Mascara Dorada he refused to be overlooked and immediately took the fight to both men with his dazzling, which is a great word actually, because he is actually, what he does is dazzling in the ring. He's got fantastic athleticism. Takeshita finally came face-to-face with Okada one-on-one, and Okada answered by gouging out the eyes of the Alpha and moving on to Dorada like nothing happened, which was kind of weird. That was kind of a weird point in the match. It was a great match, though. Dorada's walking highlight reel, and I do agree with that as well. The crowd erupts every time Okada and Takeshita even look at each other. They're trading some of the stiffest blows we've seen on the entire show so far, which is saying a lot. In an absolute thriller of a finish, Takeshita dodged a Rainmaker, but was drop-kicked by Okada out of the ring. Okada hit a thunderous Rainmaker on Dorado to retain the AEW Unified Championship. The cracks in the Don Callis family continue to show, and Takeshita looks distraught after failing to win the match. I mean, I'm hoping that's eventually going to lead to a one-on-one matchup for the title between those two. I think the crowd is ready for it. In my opinion, I think it's time to put those two to work in the ring with each other. But again, another great match for the AEW All Out, and the crowd was hyped during the whole. And like they said, any time that they looked at each other, the crowd went crazy. You know, absolutely crazy. Every time Okada and Takeshita even looked at each other, they just erupted. So the crowd was really behind them. They were thoroughly enjoying that matchup, and it was a great match. It was a great match.
opportunity presents itself again.
Next was the matchup that I didn't really care for a whole lot. I mean, I watched it, and I can't say I hated the match or anything. I don't know. Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley. It began in unorthodox fashion as expected. Allin attacked Mox during the entrance and almost immediately proceeded to dive onto Mox from the rafters. In his quest for revenge, Allin mutilated Mox's earlobe in retaliation for what Moxley did to him last month at Forbidden Door. It's funny because if anybody's been paying attention this week, they were trying to push AEW ticket sales as an alternative to WWE because it's cheaper and more family priced. But then they go on to have matches like that where they're mutilating each other in the middle of the ring, whether it be earlobes, eyes, and whatever else. So it's one of those weird things. I don't know. Again, too much blood. Why is everybody bleeding? You know, why is everybody bleeding? Do they have an iron deficiency? Do they are they well? Why do they bleed so easy? Again, blood. I think it has its time and place where it's useful and makes sense, but it doesn't make sense all the time. We don't need to see people bleed all the time, you know? And I don't know. Again, just my opinion. I don't speak for anybody else. But, yeah. So, mutilated his earlobe in retaliation for what Moxley did to him last month at Forbidden Door. Mox's attempt to set up the coffin on the outside of the ring, and Allin dove on top of him, sending them both inside the ring. The match descended further into chaos and gore after that. Seemingly confident, Moxley told the Death Riders to leave from ringside. The violence continued with coffin drops on coffins, relentless stabbing of skulls, and plastic bag assists from Brian Danielson. I said that fucking backwards. Did you hear that? I have no idea why I said that, but anyways, Brian Danielson. Darby Allin seemed to have the match won until Pac returned with a new look, but the same aggression. He battered Allin and placed him in a body bag, then put the body bag in the casket. Moxley kicked it closed with his foot to win the match. I mean, of course he can't open the lid. He's inside of a fucking body bag, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I actually thought that Allin was going to win that match. I was a little surprised that he didn't. So I guess that at least surprised me in that match. But at the same time, I didn't overly enjoy that match. I don't know. I thought it could have been better. And that is it. That is all, ladies and gentlemen. The winner of the match, and still your WCW Unified Undisputed WCW United States Champion, representing TDL and Team Galaxy Phantom. It is Eric Dangerous, and he is going home with the gold as he picks up a big W over Penta to retain his championships. So congratulations to TDL and Team Galaxy Phantom. And of course, Eric Dangerous. Big win over Penta. So yeah, I didn't overly care for that match personally. Again, I don't speak for anybody else. Death Riders did return to carry the casket holding Allin's body, leaving no inclination of where they plan to take it. A backstage segment from Mark Briscoe, and the conglomeration laid out a trios challenge for the Don Callis family on the upcoming episode of Dynamite. He'll be teaming up with Hologram and what was heavily teased to be a returning Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy is one of those characters that I didn't think... I remember when I first started watching him in AEW, I thought, what the fuck is this? I'm not going to lie. I'm an Orange Cassidy fan. I don't know why. It's not something I would normally enjoy, but it's the way he... I don't know. It's the way he presents himself and the way he handles his gimmick, and it's kind of badass. I don't know. Again... knowing me like everybody, that's not something I would normally find entertaining, an Orange Cassidy character. But I did. And of course, again, they heavily teased his return. So yeah, we'll move on with that list in just a moment. But again, congratulations to Team Galaxy, Phantom, TDL, and Eric Dangerous. Eric Dangerous still your unified WCW United States champion. All right, we're moving on to the betting rounds. I mean, we can't bet on the matches, but we are officially into the betting rounds, or what we would consider the betting rounds in the land of purple, the land of Twitch TV. But here we go. Next match of the day, it is Victoria versus Stephanie Vicaire. Victoria representing Team Infinity, taking on Stephanie Vicaire for the WCW United States Championship. That is next. It is a straight-up one-on-one matchup. What do you guys think? Is it going to be Victoria, the returning Victoria, or Stephanie Vicaire that walks out as the WCW United States Champion today?
Valkyria wins.
You think Valkyria wins? And by the way, it was Stephanie Vicaire, of course, won the Women's World Championship last night at WrestlePalooza. A show that, again, exceeded my expectations. I actually did not think it was going to be that good of a show, and they proved me wrong. Not only was it a great show, again, for some reason, I did find the arena, the setup of the arena cool. From the commentators' booths to the... I thought it was... The atmosphere was good. You know, Indianapolis was hyped and excited. They were really into the matches. So, I mean, it was... and, of course, my favorite part of last night... My favorite part of last night was Brock Lesnar decimating John Cena. You know, and we got to see all those kids crying as the camera panned the audience. It was fucking mint. Hey, because I've been saying it for weeks. That needed to happen. Cena cannot beat Lesnar, at least not cleanly. But what really needs to happen is Brock Lesnar needed to destroy John Cena. And that happened. I'm happy that happened. I won't sit and tell you that it was a fantastic match. It absolutely was not. It was, but it was entertaining as far as the fact you got to watch Brock Lesnar destroy John Cena. So that was great. I enjoyed that. Every last motherfucking second of it. Dice says 2 and 6, but Rocky Cross did get a pair of 1s, so if y'all want to try and tie Rocky Cross for a roll-off, or you have to beat him with like a pair of 2s, pair of 3, whatever. But he is still leading Dice. Boss Apollo, the only championship-worthy team. That was because I, on my very first attempt, became 100% World Championship-worthy. Of course, I'm not going to keep that, so I did say the first person to get the dreaded 99 would get that championship opportunity, so that went to Boss Apollo. But nobody's won the lotto. Nobody has won blackjack yet. I mean, again, Rocky Cross is leading. Wasn't expecting to sleep in, but I'm here. Well, welcome in, Mufasa. You already missed Eric Dangerous' match. It was the match right before this. Or maybe you caught the end of it. I don't know. But Eric Dangerous did have his match. He was defending the unified WCW United States Championship against Penta. All right, here we go. Victoria versus Stephanie Vicaire for the WCW United States Championship. Let's rock and roll. I do have to step away for just a second. You know, I'm not a gambler. And I'm not a vivid bingo player or anything, so I don't wear Depends of any kind, and my bladder is screaming at me right now. So I'm going to go take a bladder break. Drain the dragon, if you will. Then we'll continue the AEW list, and of course continue talking about WrestlePalooza and watching what so far has been a fantastic TWA In Your House show. So it's been a very interesting day. I've thoroughly enjoyed this so far. But anyways, I'll be right back.
There is a wickedness to Victoria, a desire to see others suffer. And she's a unique kind of crazy. The kind of crazy that'll smash you over the head with a trash can. Victoria looking as fearsome as ever. I wouldn't want to face her. through the smoke, the Dark Angel arrives, descending upon the WWE Universe. Stephanie acknowledges she didn't become the best luchadora in the world overnight. Her training took years. But Victoria spent years traveling the globe, honing her craft in Japan, across North America, and her native South America. And now she's ready to show the entire WWE Universe what she can do. Victoria's talent and pedigree are undeniable. Well, at this point, Stephanie's used to success in championships, and now she's searching for that glory on the biggest stage there is, WWE.
Introducing the challenger from Los Angeles, California, Victoria! And her opponent from San Fernando, Chile, the WCW United States Champion, Stephanie.
The challenger not taking their eyes off the championship. And the champ is staring daggers right back at the opposition. Here we go with the title on the line. The stakes in this match really couldn't be any higher. You can tell these superstars are ready to give their all to walk out of here the champion. They might be limping out of here if this match is even half as intense as I think it might be. And kicks out before the count. She still has her expelling unnecessary energy with that attempt. Oh no, there could be trouble lurking for her with this submission maneuver. Phase lock applied. She won't fade. She just won't fade. She keeps fighting. McCurr surprises her. Locking up with the collar and elbow. Demonstrating power here, able to drive the opposition to the ropes. Bang right in the face. Maneuvers out of the way. Oh, nice. As impressive as that was, it has to take something out of a smaller competitor. Spike face first. The challenger unable to stay out of harm's way. But time is on her side. This match ain't even close to over. She is trying to shake the cobwebs, but she can barely stand. Soaring. Crash and burn. Man, oh man, took that crucial leap of faith, and no one was there. Ooh, face first into the post. Bam. Victoria never saw that coming. Lands a timely reversal. Oh, what a response. Precise aiming on that basement drop kick. She better get back in the ring. Not much time left.
You gotta be serious.
Sharp elbow to the gut turns that one around. Here she goes, sliding. Snapmare right. Surfboards.
I was close.
Break out of this grip and is able to do it. Escapes the hold before irreparable damage is done.
The body that's fucking 8 or 9 quick enough.
Go ahead. Defeat. Pin attempt by the champion.
She kicks out with force. What does she have to do to put her away?
I'm asking myself the same question. I have no idea.
Stephanie McCare with her opponent tied up.
And there's the SPV.
The champ might have just ended things right there. 2. Kick out. Still has hope.
I don't believe it. How did the challengers survive that?
By the skin of their teeth. And don't expect the champ to start going easy on them. That was a great opportunity to put this one away, but it slipped right through her fingers. Looking to go up high. From way up.
Taking a moment to get pumped off of this crowd's incredible energy.
Victoria is being taken full advantage of now.
Victoria's resiliency being tested here. Caught with that sharp elbow. She isn't taking this lying down anymore.
Stopping Victoria to take advantage of a misstep and take command. Victoria protecting. Victoria lifting her opponent up. Widow's pick. The challenger might have what it takes to win this. And into the cover. The reign continues. The champ kicks out.
We knew it was not going to be an easy task to put the champion away, and that's being proven right now.
More like the champions proving they'd sooner perish than lose their title. A big opportunity falling through their fingers. You've got to continue fighting and hope your next big move is the last one.
And I have returned. I see the match is still going. So I mean, in addition to the bladder break, I may or may not have made a coffee. I mean, I needed a coffee. It's life. That is also life's fault. She's the one that mentioned caffeinated beverages earlier, and I just happened to realize that I did not have any liquid fuel to my advantage. I did not have any caffeinated beverage. So I may or may not have gotten a coffee at the concession stand on my way back from the facilities. Hope we're doing good. Of course we're doing good, Luke. We are live with TWA In Your House. A show that's very quickly become a favorite because you get to see a little bit of action from each of the three brands, right? You get to see Wrestle Wars Genesis matches. You get to see TWA Underground matches. You get to see some WCW matches. So, I mean, it's very quickly become a very popular show. We've been, of course, we always had our house show matches that were pre-recorded. Now, this is the second time we've been live with TWA In Your House. And it's been a fantastic show today as well. I mean, I think that's partially because, you know, the one Elijah Archer, ladies and gentlemen, became the Legends Champion for the 13th time today. But no, I mean, all the matches have been absolutely fantastic. We've seen some great title defenses already today. We've seen some new champions today. We have 2 brand new Legends champions. I mean, it's been an epic day of matches for sure. Only 1 world title on the line here today, though. Mostly always mid-card championships that you'll see at TWA In Your House. But Alex Ramon just won the TWA Underground World Championship not long ago. Has not had a chance to defend it yet. And hasn't been as active as he was in Season 5. So, today, Team Alex Sappy and Alex Ramon is offering up a shot at the TWA Underground World Championship. That'll be our main event. Wow! There it is. That's going to do it. And that is it. That is all. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, representing Team Infinite Only. Of course, Team Infinite Only has picked up the contract from Team Variance of Strife. I don't know if he's picked up tables, ladders, chairs, and Humboldts or not, or if anybody wants to pick up tables, ladders, chairs, and Humboldts while Strife is MIA for a while. But he wants them to stay active. We are to do and book them as we please. Not hard to do. They've always been a big part of the TWA locker room and, of course, the community. But currently, it is Team Infinite Only that decided to pick up Stephanie Vicare's contract while Strife has stepped away. So, representing Team Infinite Only, Stephanie Vicare, ladies and gentlemen, still your reigning, defending WCW Women's United States Champion. Only match I cared for was Lesnar versus Cena. I mean, I enjoyed the whole show. I was surprised. I thought it was way better than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, that's my favorite match because Brock Lesnar absolutely decimated John Cena. Absolutely decimated him, destroyed him, annihilated him. Kids were crying. It was fucking epic. It was fantastic. Fantastique. It was. Stephanie McCare going home with her gold. Big title defense. A member of the Occult, but being managed by Team Infinitoni. All right, here we go. Moving on to the co-main event. This, ladies and gentlemen, a submission matchup for the TWA Underground Pure Submission Championship from Team Ace Hunter. It is Callie Carter challenging the reigning defending TWA Underground Pure Submission Champion AJ Lee, representing Team Joe Link and Phenomenal Soul. Of course, Team Joe Link has the contracts for both AJ Lee and CM Punk, who is partnered, of course, his partner in crime, the Phenom Joe Lincoln. She is the reigning defending Underground Pure Submission Champion, putting her title on the line today. Callie Carter looking to dethrone and take home that gold. Will it happen? Technically, it's platinum. It's not even gold, it is platinum. But she wants to take home that championship belt. What do you guys think? Who is winning this matchup? AJ Lee or Callie Carter? We're going to find out because that match is next. It is next. And second last on the card. It is co-main event time. Let's rock and roll. But yeah, I loved the Lesnar-Cena match. Not gonna lie. I thoroughly enjoyed the beatdown of one John Cena. Yes, I did. I did. And it's nothing against Cena. I like Cena. I didn't always like Cena, but Cena gained my respect over the years. The way he handled himself inside the ring, outside the ring, the way he carried the company, whether we liked it or not, and how they went about it, he still carried the company on their back. I mean, he's the modern day Hulk Hogan. Right? You can't not respect that. But Lesnar destroying John Cena last night made up for years of frustration of them shoving Super Cena down our throats between 2011 and the 2020s. So it was fucking awesome. Fantastique. It was great. Amazing. Woo! I mean, I could have thrown an after party. Because again, for weeks leading up to WrestlePalooza, I did say there's no way John Cena should be beating Brock Lesnar. At least not clean. So they better do it dirty. Otherwise, John Cena needs to lose. And not only does he need to lose, Lesnar needs to destroy him. And that's what happened. But the kids crying. The kids crying, man, as they pan that camera, just added to the whole thing. It was just awesome. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Those poor kiddies. I mean, what did they expect? Did their parents not prepare them for that? I mean, Brock Lesnar is the beast incarnate. You know?
She's been undergoing a lot of training for tonight, not taking this title opportunity lightly.
Callie Carter in the house. Another former multiple-time champion in TWA. Singles competition and tag team competition. Her partner in crime, of course, Selena Price. Part of the Eagle Club. They're known as Ego's Paradise. I believe they're in the top 5 right now in the standings for the TWA Underground Tag Team Championships. I could be wrong. I'll have to check that out, but I'm pretty sure they're in the top 5. And here she comes, ladies and gentlemen. The reigning, defending TWA Underground Pure Submission Champion. Representing Phenomenal Soul and Team Joe Link, AJ Lee. And by the way, how good was AJ Lee last night? You know, how good was she? Didn't miss a beat. Looked phenomenal. And let's not forget, she was away from the ring for, what, 9 years? 10 years? Close enough to 10 years to call it a decade, you know what I mean? But she was absolutely spot on. Looked sensational. I was pretty happy for AJ Lee last night. I was pretty happy for AJ Lee. I actually didn't think they were going to beat Seth and Becky. I'm not going to lie. That surprised me a little. I thought that something would happen. They would somehow still beat AJ and Punk. But no, Punk and AJ won. AJ slapped on that Black Widow and Becky tapped. So next what I want to see, next what we're probably going to see, right? We're probably going to see a one-on-one matchup between AJ and Becky. AJ's going to take that Intercontinental Championship from Becky Lynch, and it's going to further add prestige. It's going to further add whether we like the fact that Becky Lynch took that title from Lyra Valkyria or not, it automatically did add prestige. It makes the title more valuable. And then for it to go from Becky Lynch to AJ Lee further puts stank on that championship, right? And we know Lyra's probably going to get that back at some point, especially after Becky loses it, right? She doesn't have that stipulation anymore. While Becky Lynch is champion, she doesn't get a shot at it. So, but all right, back to AEW. I don't think we have much left to cover as far as AEW goes. I think we left off at the Fatal 4-Way match, did we not? Was for the AEW Women's World Championship featuring Timeless Toni Storm, Chris Statlander, Jamie Hayter, and I always forget how to pronounce that name, but I think it's Tekla. Had kicked off. Wheeler Yuta was seen trying to give Statlander some advice and good luck before the match, but she didn't seem too interested. Nevertheless, Jamie Hayter called her out for it in a hard-hitting bout from all parties. That's absolutely true. Tekla somehow found a belt to whip Toni Storm. Yes, this actually happened. She got whipped by a belt. Tekla delivered a giant spear off the apron to the outside to her continued rival, Jamie Hayter, essentially eliminating her from the match. Chris Statlander shocked the world and pinned Toni Storm with Wheeler's Yuta seatbelt pin to become the new AEW Women's World Champion and her first challenge for the title in 4 years. Now, the only thing that surprised, because it was a fucking awesome match. It was a really good match. The only thing that surprised me a little was the fact that she actually did pin Toni Storm. In my opinion, nobody in that matchup should have been pinning Toni Storm. It was a fatal 4-way. That was the perfect chance to take off a heavily booked, properly booked, not to mention, oddly enough, a consistent and strong champion in Toni Storm. It was a perfect opportunity to take that belt off of her without having her beaten, so that she could chase that title again. You know? Now that said, we have a new world champion, so that really opens up the door for Mercedes Moné to be bumped into that division and maybe go for that championship next. Maybe it's time she finally puts somebody over for the TBS championship and moves on, or maybe she keeps both. I don't know what they're going to do there, but because I don't think Mercedes Moné should be beating Toni Storm. Mind you, I didn't think Toni Storm should have been pinned last night. I would have went a different route. I would not have had Toni Storm pinned by anybody, and a close pinfall, sure. Submission attempt where she almost taps, sure. Actually beating her, I don't really think anybody she was in the ring with last night is on Toni Storm's level. They should have had somebody else pinned. They should have had somebody else pinned or submitted and left Toni Storm losing the championship without even being defeated, you know what I mean? But that's not what happened. But Chris Statlander is your new AEW Women's World Champion.
One more time and landing with incredible impact.
So next was the ladder match. Brodito, the Young Bucks, Jet Speed, and is it Hecachero? And Josh Alexander are facing off down a Fatal 4. Some of them I don't really know how to pronounce names because I don't watch them enough to know. I tune in to watch certain matches only usually. Or watch the pay-per-views, so some of them I don't know how to pronounce. I'm going to guess it's Hecachero or Hecachero. Josh Alexander, anyways, we're facing off in a fatal four-way ladder match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Bodies continue to fly throughout this matchup, but a particularly thrilling highlight was staggered dives from the top of each corner of the ring to the outside through tables. Talent of AEW's tag division, Brodito neutralized the Young Bucks, and Bandito climbed the ladder to retrieve the tag belts and retain their AEW World Tag Team Championships. That actually was a pretty exciting match to watch, not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of the Young Bucks, really. I always used to call them the Hardley Boys, personally. The Hardley Boys. But anyway, they are good. I just don't think they're as good as they think themselves are, and some people will pass them off to be, you know, again. I think FTR is a better tag team than them, but whatever. After the match, the Young Bucks stood in the ring and were confronted by returning Jack Perry, who immediately went on the attack after mailing the Bucks a handcrafted blade on being the Elite. The Bucks quickly wore him down with numbers advantage, but Perry just laughed. Before the lights went out, a video package began of Perry reviving Luchasaurus, a.k.a. Killswitch, in a lab, which by the way, was stupid. It might have been more interesting next month for Halloween. Not part of the show I enjoyed. Not part of the show I thought was cool. Not part of the show I thought was interesting, but doesn't matter. Overall, AEW All Out was a very good show. You got to watch it if you haven't. It was live from the Scotiabank Place in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Beth Copeland returned. It was a good night, or a good afternoon. AEW did well. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is all. The winner of the match, and still the TWA Underground Pure Submission Champion, representing Team Joe Link and Phenomenal Soul. It is AJ Lee picking up the big W over Callie Carter and going home with her gold. Big defense from AJ Lee. Much like her fantastic performance at WrestlePalooza, she looked awesome in that ring today. Just watched the Eric Dangerous match, did you? Yeah, it was a good match. It was a good match. He's going to be a tough one to beat for those titles. Going to be a tough one to beat. But anyways, AJ Lee. I missed the very ending though. Did she pin or did she slap on the Black Widow? Neither. Got her in an arm trap crossface. Interesting. Very interesting. So congratulations to Phenomenal Soul, Joe Link, and AJ Lee. AJ and CM Punk will be partying later, celebrating her title defense. I guess one of the best in the business in Callie Carter. All right, here we go. It's main event time. It is main event time, and then, of course, we are also going to have a go-home happy match. And the match I kind of chose for today is just because we are actually talking about it earlier, and it made me want to kind of see it again. I kind of want to see Shawn Michaels versus Bret the Hitman Hart in an Iron Man match. I think that'd be a great way to close out the show. That's kind of the theme we've been going with for Go Home Happy matches this season, is retro matches from the past. And for some reason, yeah. I mean, it's Luke's fault, but I kind of want to see Bret the Hitman Hart versus Shawn Michaels at an Iron Man match. And for fun, we'll even throw the Winged Eagle Championship on the line for that matchup. So far, nobody's won the lotto. Boss Apollo is 100% World Championship worthy. I believe Rocky Cross is still leading with that pair of ones. Has anybody beat Rocky? Is he still leading with that pair of ones in dice? I think he is. Rocky, are you still winning? I just got a 4-1. Of course I did. Of course I did. I'm going to try playing the lotto again.
Oh.
909. That's what I get. Isn't that fucking lovely? All right. Anyways, next match of the day, the main event for TWA's In Your House Live, Oni Shinobi, our new TWA television champion for the 3rd time. I mean, it was a fantastic matchup. If you have not watched Wrestle Wars Genesis, you're going to have to go watch it. It was an absolute thrill ride of a show. Oni Shinobi's rivalry with Randleman Piper, easily probably the feud of the year, aside from what's been going on with the tag team division. But you can't narrow it down to any one team versus the other, because the tag team division this year, Season 6, has been ripping each other apart between Death Authority, the Wolfpack, Phenomenal Soul, all the teams involved. I mean, it has been an absolutely... I mean, if you're a tag team, it's a bad time to get into the tag team division, because there's a lot of chaos going on. A lot of destruction. It's been crazy in the tag team division this season so far. But as far as singles competition goes, Randleman Piper and Oni Shinobi having the best feud of the year. They proved why again last night. And Oni Shinobi, again, for the 3rd time, your new TWA television champion, looking to become a double champion for the first time ever as he takes on Alex Ramon from Team Alex Sappi in an underground matchup, which is, of course, the only way, other than an extreme matchup of some type, to win the underground championship. You'll never see it in a straight-up one-on-one matchup. It has to be a multi-man matchup. It has to be a Hell in a Cell. It has to be a cage match of some type. Ladder, TLC, has to be extreme in nature. A lot of the times it's underground matches, but those aren't the only way. Let's get the ball rolling with our main event. What the fuck? We literally just crashed on our main event. We'll be back after these moments. That is ghastly. Epic stink. I wish it didn't take so long to get through the error status of the